the pawn shop. Remember the pawn shop.
End in the pawn shop.
So,
what did we learn?
We learned that maybe anti-object task force only works once on any given object?
Maybe? That's not the lesson here, though.
Oh, that's right. We learned to manually save more often because the quick save is kind of erratic and inconsistent.
Okay, good, but still not the point I was thinking of.
Oh, we learned that our ex-wife might really like
Don't
a
kick the
figurine.
mailbox. You're walking up to it. That was what I was going to say. No! Damn it.
There is a hollow.
Can't believe
See,
you've done
it
this.
healed.
The Levantoria mail collection.
This is what I tried to show you last time, and now I've completed that task.
Well, to be fair, I saw it.
Your toe has suffered
And then I got
damage. It
Cool.
I didn't see the moment of you
Really
kicking
shocked
it.
at me.
He does not actually think it's cool.
I don't.
He must see the box as the weaker of the two, and you as a bully. Something he doesn't stand for.
Oh, do we actually lose points with Kim for that?
Maybe?
Possibly. Good box. Good box. I won't kick you anymore.
The mail collection box has no faith in your psychopathic manipulation.
Yeah, it knows what you're trying to do.
So I redid the stuff. I redid the field autopsy. I put the body in the freezer. I talked to the Hardy Boys. I recollected all the clothes. And I got the figurine again.
Okay, so
I took care of all the stuff that I lost. And actually, it only took about half an hour once I was just like jamming on X and skipping all the dialogue.
speaking of which, it seems like you have half an hour till your dice is ready.
Yes. So, one thing I realized, we didn't actually talk to this guy. We bought his stuff, but we didn't talk to
Cool
him.
here, officer. Only the coolest goods in Revachol. I've got sneakers, speakers, extremely comfy pants.
How comfy.
Try them on right here. No shame, only freedom.
Yes.
I'm an entrepreneur, officer. I've got sources, buyers, suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, wholesalers.
We got a lot of open threads. Like, we can do pretty much damn near anything today.
No need for discounts and ceilings, officer. Everything's already on sale. Anything you want, 50% off.
But did he first mark them up 100%, just so that he could put them on sale?
Yes. Macy's does that all the time. They got sued for it.
My man, you know how the game is played. You and me, we should work together. What do you think? Shake things up?
Or shake you down.
Joke, officer! Here we don't have permits. Just economic freedom. Take a look around.
All we have is the free market.
Buildings, the miserable
The free market knows all. The free market loves all.
Dust-choked air.
It's beautiful. Beautiful freedom.
It is, yes. Anyone can set up their shop whenever they feel like it.
Nice.
That's right. No permits, no bureaucracy. That's why this city and its law officials are so cool.
If you wanted to be cynical about it, you could say we are here to protect the interests of property holders. I'm not, however.
I
Wow,
don't.
he beat you to it.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't care about the
My
interests of the
man,
property
officer,
holders.
you-
Kim, are you joining the cause?
Without
Well,
you,
Kim's a moralist, we know
climate
this.
would be extremely bad for business. You're part of the gossamer state.
Gossamer is a fine, filmy substance consisting of cobwebs spun by small spiders, seen especially in autumn. It's safe to say he's referring to the near absence of regulations.
I'm part of the hip, thin, almost non-existent state apparatus. Or he could just be racist for no reason.
Yeah, cool ruins. I get to sell quality goods like these by cutting out the middlemen. You don't have to rebuild your house, live in a crater, or in a tree. Where can you do that? Only here.
You're pretty sure you can live in a tree elsewhere too, but he wouldn't believe it anyway.
Can we build a treehouse?
Anything for you. Me? It's a boring story, officer. Who cares about the past? I'm all business now. All Revachol.
This man probably comes from Seaguy, sometimes known as the Apricot Suzerainty, an archipelago in the Samaran Isola.
I really don't care about your race, though. I know a man who would give a lot of a fuck, but I don't really
like
care.
your style, officer.
All right, but the important stuff.
Will you give me some money?
Our rhetoric is high.
Start with a little
Boxcars. There
When
goes your one roll for the
This is
day.
about
That's it.
business.
You're not going to get anything
Remember.
else.
Especially on, like, when I didn't need it.
Oh, okay. But why, officer? An investment? What kind of investment?
My risk-reward ratio is insane.
I guess it can't be any riskier than speculating in exotic derivatives. How much are we talking about here?
1 million!
But officer, I don't have that kind of money. There's got to be a more modest investment.
Someone is gonna give me the million, goddammit.
10 real is a bargain for that kind of investment. You got it, my man.
Okay.
Cool. Got $10. That pretty much made up for
All the clothes you bought, probably.
what we bought from him. There's...
Shine on these sunglasses lasts a lifetime, officer. 100% guaranteed.
There's a lot of conceptualization checks we're working on right now, so I think I'll save until I can put the point in and then do them all at once.
You keep coming back.
Maximize my number of rerolls. Anything over here? Let's see. Oh, that's right. We were going to the pawn shop to find our gun.
Lost gun.
Lost gun.
Lost gun.
Lost gun. That's all I could think about. And yet,
I really like. It's a shame that wasn't your first thought about the gun. Like you had already figured out that you didn't have a gun. But when that guy is the one telling you, it just makes it so much better.
oh, I went up and I went and I looked up Woolie's highlights that you were telling me about. That shit was fucking wild.
Did you see the? Yeah, you're black.
Yeah,
and
him
they
and his
just
friend
and they
just-
just go,
Oh no!
Shelves.
It was so good.
That was an incredible. That was a
Wowshy
fantastic
stares
playthrough.
at you longingly with its tape reel eyes.
Is the Harman Welsh W2, made in Vespa, designed in Seattle.
Ooh, I could buy a
Plays
boombox.
all reel-to-reel formats.
You don't need that to do
2mm,
karaoke,
8mm,
but yes, you can.
12mm. It's even got a little radio in there. It'll set you back 12 real.
Maybe I can haggle.
Absolutely. I've tested each one myself with recordings of speech, found sounds and music from a variety of genres. Even though I don't really like music. If police work means playing tapes, sure, you can use it for that. Or any other time you'd need to play a tape.
Like a beach party, with sand and sun and seagulls dancing on the breeze.
I want to throw a beach party.
Theoretically, yes. But we don't have time right now. It's generally murder investigation first, then beach party.
No. A requiem for all life forms. That sounds Apocalypse Cop. I haven't really gone into Apocalypse Cop yet.
You can play it any way you like. And I guess since you're a police officer, no one can arrest you for it.
Hold off on that for now.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, and
Wasn't there something else in here? Something that we might be looking for?
Well, there was this lamp.
Martinez Street. The light. This would.
It's like
Oh, the $700
in your living room.
street lamp.
yeah.
Yes, officer.
We are not here.
What's the circular stuff above him?
700 real. A bargain, I dare say. There's also the matter of rewiring, but the most...
Yeah. Above him. This?
Yeah.
That was the stereo, I thought. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's the boombox. What happens if we just talk
It's
to
not
him?
often that I see officers from the RCM in my pawn shop.
Well, we do have business with him.
We do.
What can I do for you?
Can you get me my gun in 18 minutes or less?
Is not insincere, but he prefers being alone with his projector, just watching the movement of light across the walls of the shop.
I haven't had any problems myself, though some of my customers have complained about inconsistent law enforcement.
I am very consistent.
Who are your customers usually?
I may not be expected, but you can always expect me to be unexpected. That's a kind of consistency.
People come through here. Locals, travelers, people looking for a deal, people looking for a keepsake. People who are terminally bored.
That sounds like me when I go to pawn shops.
As you can see,
They usually have a good like a DVD
of
Blu-ray
goods for
section.
everyone to choose from. It keeps me entertained.
Roy, what are you on? And if so, can I have some?
Okay, he definitely is high. Whatever it is, you've probably done it, and many other things besides. But you can't cut through the jumble of sensations to get to the answer. Looking at his wares, talking to him, that might give you more clues. A guarded man like him wouldn't tell you if you asked out loud.
Let me have a look.
I have this fascinating photo of a corpse here.
Oh, no. I don't like those kinds of objects. No sale. Aphotic paths, counter-radiance networks, anti-magnetism. It's darkness. That's all I know. Sell me something lighter.
You have absolutely no idea what aphotic paths are, but the tattoos on the man are not that.
So,
Anything else you're thinking of selling?
We can't sell the pawn. We can't sell the check.
no.
It's worthless here.
Yeah, but
Where
it
do we
looks
take
like
it?
that looks like it's gonna be for Gart.
Oh no,
Everard-
Fritz store. It says Fritz store.
Yeah, but Gart. Evart, that's his name. Evart wrote it for us to give us our to get rent for the night.
Well, we could do whatever we want with it. We don't need. I've switched on now. We don't need a room.
So I don't know, what does sleeping do other than heal you? Because I've got pretty good ways to heal myself anyway now on my own without wasting the sleep time.
Right.
I don't know if staying awake for too long is going to cause problems like it does in the real world. I don't know what these
It might. I've never tried.
I think I might try not sleeping for a while. Postcards, excuse me, haven't really done. I don't know what the postcards have done for me. I found more than a few. I can sell this because I know I don't need it. I've already solved that puzzle. I'll hold on to the rest for now. The pen I've
Yeah.
already used, but, you know, it's a pen. Could come in handy.
You never know when you'll need a pen.
Yeah. I could sell my clothes, but I'm good for the moment.
Another time, perhaps. I doubt it, but I can try and answer any questions you may have. I do my best to keep my distance from all manner of butchery. Bad for business, bad for everyone.
He doesn't know anything. The pawnbroker's gaze is already fixed on the dancing colors.
Ooh.
Someone else came here earlier today asking the same question. I promptly sold her the gun you pawned a couple days back.
Who's got my gun?
This is a pawn shop,
Oops.
and it did feel as if you've met before. The lieutenant shifts from one foot to another, alert.
You are...
With Kim here too. That just sounded really, really bad.
You were adamant about getting rid of it, officer. Said you were undeserving of a service weapon of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
That doesn't sound true.
And I don't like keeping guns around the shop for long. Off the charts photon emissions. The unhealthy kind.
Oh boy.
He's not telling you the whole story. It seems he's trying to spare you.
Okay, now I have another thing to do when Kim's not around.
She didn't seem like a policeman, although she kept referring to herself as a pig.
God damn it!
It's odd.
Why did you sell guns to children?
A bit obsessive, but I was just happy to get rid of it. Truth be told, she was terrifying.
Right, so let me get this right. You sold your sidearm, issued by the Citizens Militia, and now a civilian is running around the streets of Martinez with it?
Miraculously, his face does not reveal what's happening inside.
So...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I sold my gun.
I should not have done that. That was a bad thing. I've got two people I think of it could be.
In these parts of town.
But...
We ought to find her and discourage her from taking justice into her own hands.
My apologies, officer, but I have
'Cause it could be-
idea where she was coming
It could
from,
be Kunessa,
or where she went.
and it could be the graffiti chick, whose name I don't know if I ever actually got. But she didn't seem violent. It definitely feels like Kunessa would be the one, especially with the whole pig thing. But would he have sold the gun to a child?
A needle in a haystack. There is nothing you can do about it right now. You'll just have to hope Everard wasn't lying.
Sorry, cop is the
That
most
you
rational.
can track her down in time.
David Tennant cop.
Maybe. Shady-looking guys came in here yesterday, looking like they'd just taken off their Wild Pines overalls. They asked if I have a police weapon to sell. I told them I already sold it. They were
I love that we're having this entire conversation
It was a
while I'm
trick.
holding the flashlight
But
directly
you
in
know-
his eyes.
Sir?
all sorts of
Sir?
people come here.
Sir, I need you to answer these
asking
questions.
For all
Sir, your pupils are not dilating. Sir.
Maybe Claire really is tracking down your gun.
People as oleaginous as Everard seem like they're lying, even when they're really being truthful.
Of course. Sure thing. Sure, man.
I guess I don't have much else. Unless there's something around the room I can use to get clues into his drugs.
I could have sworn there was something we could buy here, but I haven't seen
the
it.
rest of the trinkets.
I bought the figurine.
No, it's not it.
And the stereo, the lamp.
Nope, I guess it's not here.
Well, farewell. It's 6 o'clock. You know what that means. I don't know what this is going to do, but I'm going to buy a die. Dog, I'm going to teach you how to play Dungeons and Dragons right now. We're going to have a good time.
No thanks, I'm good.
You'll love it. get this, and then we got 3 hours to kill until Smoking Man. And then after we tuck Kim in for the night, after we read him a story, we gotta try for the boots and maybe go back to the pawn shop and figure out what the hell that was all about. There's our bear full of corpse. There doesn't seem to be an increase in litter as the days go on. I didn't find any new bottles and cans today.
Nope.
There was something to do with
Tiles on the
this.
cube are still smoldering. Casting the framework in the speaker comes.
Good afternoon.
Oh, that's right. I needed the password.
Is this the production schedule? Good. Please repeat the password. Received.
Don't worry.
Fortress accident. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are
That
still.
may or may not get solved in the future. Hi, I'm 2 minutes early. Are you gonna fucking yell at me for that?
It's you again. Are you looking for a die? I'm listening. Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair Windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff medias. Who would have guessed?
That's a hell of a diverse product line.
What's the snuff milieu?
What do you think?
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Hey, Empress. Nah, it was fine. It took like half an hour. No big deal.
It's a Sub Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that. As if it's just another piece of.
She is jaded beyond what you could ever believe.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators.
Found creepy mannequins.
There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years until the insect rights activists came.
Insect rights
I'm sorry, what?
activists?
The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds
bug
of
fabric.
political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
I don't... There's so many problems in the world, and that's what you focus on?
Actually, insects do have brains, but yes, I understand what you're saying. I think the protesters took it a little too far.
As she shifts around, you notice several dead flies on the wings in front of her. Legs up. They're not moving.
Anything else? Good. I hope it clarified things a bit.
Where's my die?
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die? I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce one die per customer.
But it's 6 o'clock.
It's 6 o'clock. I have money.
Didn't you pay her already?
I might have already paid her.
Oh, it's you again. Are you... How did I become one? Some of my friends were role players. Not especially.
Some of those nice people have big She's thankful for the security they provide her.
Nothing.
The lieutenant.
Maybe we should come back later.
I'm sorry, Detective.
Even more 6.
Anything else, officer? We're in. But when I arrived.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney.
Creative.
I'm listening. You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
Drugs, you say?
Anything else?
We're gonna go back through the taxidermy real quick.
They were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is. Sure, it's illegal, but it's not exactly anything extraordinary in
objectives.
business.
Okay.
Besides, Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying.
They were just the props. Why return them?
Good. I hope it clarified things a bit.
Objectives.
Pick up dice from the dice maker. She said 8 hours.
From 10 o'clock. Yeah,
Oh, we're...
it's been 8 hours.
It's 1800?
Yeah. Well, guess we'll come back in a bit. One more time before we leave.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
Oh, that might be it. Let's do a level load and back and see if that trips it. And there might be drugs in the taxidermy office, you say? I enjoy drugs. They do good things for me. With no harsh side effects. Now maybe we can get our die.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
Son of bitch. Okay.
I would not describe this release of the game as stable, so who knows what's happening right now. Oh yeah, it could be to the minute.
I mean, to the minute was 5 minutes ago.
Really? Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I hate to think that, oh no, it's bugged, but it might be.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's fucking cursed, just like the rest of this area.
That's what you get for following the free market.
So we put the corpse in there. Did we pass the check?
No, I didn't want to risk doing that off the air.
Off
so let's
stream,
go ahead
yeah.
and do that now.
Eyes are still glowing
Perception,
red.
42%.
It's guarding
Not
over
bad.
the freezing
I also did
corpse.
change one little thing. I did not establish probable cause because we figured out afterwards that, oh, he probably wasn't killed by the hanging. And
So
just
that
give
swung
me
us 2 points.
Give me that little point there.
You touch the dead man's body.
Damn.
His skin is cold, light blue and silvery in the light of the fridge. You still have no idea where to begin, or what to even do with him.
It'll come to you sooner or later. At least he's safe here until then.
Well, can we put another point in perception?
Yeah, let me double
Yes, we can.
We can, but I want to double check if we have any other interfacing, composure. There's a perception.
Cafeteria window, heroic.
Yeah. Let's go. Oh no, it's grayed out. That means
Remember that one is we got a -12 for it
for
not being time.
the right time. Yeah. We don't have any open perception checks right now. Okay, so yeah, we're good.
Bing.
Nothing. You don't know.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over
58%.
the freezing corpse
14.
inside its belly.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need 7 or more. That's yeah. Bazing.
You touch the dead man's body. His skin is cold, light blue and silvery in the light of the
I like that you got right under it.
Yeah. Yeah. I need 7. Have a 6.
You meant 6, right?
I need.
You meant 6.9?
I need 3. Have boxcars. Fuck you.
How many significant digits of not what you fucking asked for do you want?
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. Your arms reach
Bang.
out and your
8.
eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh.
This is main plot shit.
Then under the palm of your hand.
Yeah, but you can totally beat the game without it.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
I disagree that this is very important. You could
His
just,
face,
you could,
his cheeks.
you don't have
his
to
nose,
solve the
his
case to
fat,
beat the game.
Swollen lips, like a spider. Your hand crawls over his features. Everything is silent.
I'm gonna crawl up in them nostrils.
They are swollen shut. You need to really push to get in. Only the little one fits. The flesh changes shape as you bore in, searching for something in the cartilage. The thing you're looking for, it's not there. Crawl out, spider.
I'm gonna squeeze his nose.
You pick it between your fingers. The mass feels large, very porous somehow. Keep crawling, lest you break it.
All right, fine. I'll put my fingers in his mouth.
The oral
When it said crawl up his nostrils, I was expecting something a bit more
like tongue
literal.
attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. You're on the right track. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery.
Are we wearing
delicate to
gloves?
touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Hard pearls of bone in the gums and in the back of the mouth. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. Look in.
Yeah.
A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the throat, and there, in the back of his mouth, above the bell of the uvula, right in the soft palate,
Check you're having a uvula privilege game.
you see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius, the edges appear darkened. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Fuck yeah.
Keep going.
A black trickle of liquid
What's an abrasion collar? I guess I should have asked that.
from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem.
If we don't get an option to do a ventriloquist act, I'm going to be very disappointed.
All right, what does this mean?
That's what this part is called.
I'm wheeling my fingers around in this man's brain.
The basal ganglia feels clumpy. What entered here has torn apart his reptilian complex. This man will never sleep again. Never wake.
If I had to guess, it sounds like a small bullet hole.
There's a tiny hole way in the back of his mouth.
That... So he got shot from behind. It came forward to the front of his mouth, but it was a very small caliber, so it only went through the bone. It stopped once it hit the glottis, and then he swallowed the bullet?
Yeah, keep thinking about it.
Your fingers
see what
slide
else we
into
get.
the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous.
Because there's no damage, there's no exit wound, and there's no damage from the front.
Extends deep into both hemispheres.
Can we check the back of his neck for an entry wound?
The ululations of the limbic system have ended. All is quiet.
I absolutely heard the ovulations of the limbic system and was very confused.
The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen on paper.
Yeah, I love how at first we were puking just by being in the same room as this thing, and now it's like, oh, I'm just gonna wiggle around in his fucking limbic system.
Brain.
Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward
Or
the side of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest of your hand to follow.
or like a really bizarre fucking lobotomy?
Your fingers reach toward his skull. His cerebral cortex feels like jelly. Cold jelly. Strange fluid streams down your wrist as you push deeper until you feel it on the tip of your finger.
There's absolutely no way this is hygienic.
Sharp, serrated material. The edges cut right into your skin.
Well, it ain't anymore, that's for sure.
The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Red check.
Oh boy.
There's a tiny crack, a protrusion in the cranium, right in the back of his head. Your finger must be pointing straight at it, from the inside. The object that is in there stops just short of the skull, in the encephalus, knocking this tiny fracture into the cranium.
Yeah, right. That's how you get bloodborne pathogens.
We have the makings of very small exit wound here.
Okay, so the exit wound is the back of his skull.
Okay, so that means it went in front.
Are we wearing our gloves? I know they've got interfacing.
I think we are not, but if I pull my hand out, am I going to lose the opportunity? I'd have to wiggle all the way back in here. That feels like... It feels like a now or never kind of thing.
Can you get to it?
I need a 6.
72. Okay. Yeah, let's go for it.
Fuck it. Nice.
7!
Alright, what the fuck is in your head, bud? And is it as weird as your dick?
Between your index and middle finger feels sharp, like metal. You press your teeth together. Your jaw is clenched. All you need to do is just
Good, good.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth like a glove, sweat dripping down your brow. Careful not to lose the prize between your
I didn't get
fingers.
this, by the way.
Gross, 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 gross.
Plop. Your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood up to the wrist. Between your fingers, a small flower, a blossom made of lead.
A bullet.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood on the plastic. He raises the bag under his eyes and says,
A non-caliber. Rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact.
Can I have it?
Of course. You've earned it. We need
All
to
right.
add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. Soft palate, back of mouth.
What does this tell you about the murder?
Somebody put a gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger. It had to be a very small caliber weapon. Otherwise, it would have blown the back of his fucking head out.
Why is there such a small wound?
High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that
Something to
sound?
think about for the future.
Something the Hardy Boys said. They said a lot of shit.
They did.
But they straight up said we dragged him out and hung him till he was dead. So that's wrong. We have the proof now that that's a lie.
Well, it doesn't mean they didn't hang him.
But they didn't. They said we
didn't
took
kill
him
him.
out and we took him out and we killed him. We hanged him until he was dead. You took
Right.
a corpse out and you hanged a corpse from a tree.
Okay, yeah, that's the distinction. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
I didn't
you
really,
didn't-
I didn't think about that.
Yeah. He was dead when they hung him. Or when they hung his body. Small exit wound. Yeah, that's... Your exit wounds are always bigger than your entry wounds. That's just the nature of bullets. Because I watched a lot of fucking police procedurals with my late grandmother. So the bullet hits, goes through, and it actually morphs. Like, the bullet squishes.
The
And
bullet changes and makes a bigger wound on the going out than it does going in.
yeah, the nice like rounded pointed shape gets smushed and flattened, and so now it's pushing this big wider mass and tearing flesh and bone and whatever viscera. So when it comes out the other side, it's always going to be a bigger silhouette.
So we've got a really interesting contradiction here.
Yeah. So that means it had to be either very small caliber or something fucking hardened. Like a goddamn... like a vulcanized spear gun? But no, because there's a bullet in there. If there's an exit wound, why is there still a bullet in the body?
There wasn't a technically an exit wound. It had pushed up against his brain. Sorry, against his skull, and made a tiny like bump, but it didn't escape.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So yeah, that goes back to small caliber, like a 22. Or
That's why
less.
it's still in there. That's why we're able to find it.
I mean, we're also dealing in an era where they're using fucking muzzle loaders.
Opinion, fatal injury.
Goddamn right.
And one last thing. We can now fill in injury number 3. Ligament mark. Opinion non-fatal. Post-mortem.
He's proposing the bullet was the real cause of death, and the hanging an attempt to conceal this fact.
Yes, and the belt around his neck. The hanging. Even dragging him to the yard. All of it was done after this man was already dead.
Dead dabba doop doop.
Dead. I have had my doubts about this since you told me he was doing something else.
I love that Kim just seems to be like, okay,
have that
fine.
kind of intuition.
I'm starting to get on the
Don't
same
usually
wavelength
trust
as
it.
this
But it's
whack
made
job.
me doubt. There have been other signs too. Small things. We were right not to assign
Secret
hanging
task.
as cause of death, as the perpetrators expected we would. No such luck for them.
We didn't
Yeah.
fall for it, he thinks. There's pride in there.
I won't get fooled again.
I did, because that's a hard check to
There
do.
is, of course, the very real possibility he was both shot and hanged.
Fuck you, logic.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling and Rise should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening.
It's only 6:30, though. Definitely not time for a shower.
No, certainly not. Plus, we gotta meet the smoking man in 2.5 hours.
Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain it has more to tell us. To hide something. The real killer? The real motivation? What really happened here? That's for us to find out. But this, it will make finding them just a little easier. We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone for the rest of the day.
That sounds delightful, Kim. You deserve a break.
Work on the
Okay.
case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup.
It is
when
already
you do
6:30.
this.
Oh, but if we do that, I'll lose the boots.
I'll leave that choice to you. And
Yeah,
one
you
more
may
thing.
not get these boots.
Great work, detective.
The word lingers in the air of the basement. Far away, ice cream makers are buzzing, and the sea wind blows outside.
Oh, I'm getting them boots.
Detective.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even the main case, but it might be more difficult. Plan his exit accordingly.
The body'll keep one more day. I get the boots tonight, and then tomorrow evening we can send you off.
Looks like you have the option. You got 2 points.
I do. I feel like we should reward ourselves with a new thought.
So you only have 12 thought slots.
Yes. And so many thoughts I haven't found yet.
Yeah, there's a lot of thoughts in this game.
For instance, I'm very curious about finger pistols, 9mm.
If I had to guess, I think it's you trying to make a thing out of doing finger guns to people.
Mm-hmm.
And failing miserably.
I want to know about the homosexual underground.
I never found that one. Though I have a suspicion.
I want to know about the Wompty Dumpty Dom Center. If only
Don't
to
remember
know
that
what
one.
the fuck that means. Like, my inclination is that it's a kink thing, but I can't be sure. I want to know all about all of these. Nope. Not suspicious. The boots, they came and got them. They came and picked them up when they called in the who's-he-what's-its.
It was those dang Hardy boys.
Those dang Hardys.
So what are our options? Oh, everything up to Jamais Vu?
Yeah. This feels like the most important of all the thoughts, the one you must complete. That's enough for
Really?
me. That's what it
Okay.
said.
That was Jamais Vu.
Yep. Right there at the bottom.
Did the actual art degree finish?
Yes. Well, I
Oh.
started it
Oh, you did
earlier
it
when
off
I
screen.
redid it, but it finished, yeah.
Oh, damn. That's a good one.
Yeah. If I
It
had...
reminds me of college.
I can just sit and think about art, and it makes me feel better about myself. But hands shake from anger at how shit it all is. Let's see.
Oh, now that we're back here, can we check the dice again?
Let's pop outside and pop back in, just for the full covering of bases. Of course, that's going to mean an extra pair of loading screens. My thoughts on discovering the cause of death. Gross. Icky. I probably have several diseases now that I didn't have prior. That man did not seem to live a healthy lifestyle, and now I have his cerebrospinal fluid in my open wounds. That's not good. I also love that he's all entirely made of diseases. It's the Mr. Burns thing, the Three Stooges effect. He's immortal.
Yeah.
Invincible, you say? No, in fact, even the slightest thing, invincible, you say. I do love, though, how that highlights the 50s, like, the early 50s, like, forensics of the situation. Like, there's no lab, there's no blood spatter analysis, there's no fucking, mass spectrometer reports. There's like, I think there's something in this hole.
Just good old-fashioned police work.
Yeah, and wrist grease. Wrist deep in elbow grease. I am a little sad there was no ventriloquist puppet option.
You would never have gotten the bullet if you had fucked around like that.
I can probably talk to the corpse now, though, about that.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
Where's my dice, lady?
Hold on. Gonna go to Google, if only to confirm that this thing is bugged. Cursed dice. It's an item. Cursed dice. Not appearing?
I looked at Dice Maker bug, but I don't think I found anything really substantial.
I found some other people who can't. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, nope. This has informed the Dice Maker about the source of doom. Whoops.
Yeah, I think I've found that.
Oh, well.
Oh, well.
I did in the process of looking that up, see what the thing does. It resets all of your white checks.
Oh, that sounds pretty useful.
Yeah. So, like...
Maybe we'll come here tomorrow.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Give it some time.
Maybe on day 32 it'll show up.
Day 32, you say?
Yes.
At my
glacial
pace,
comes after day 31.
We'll be here forever.
At your pace? No, it's remember in Gods Will Be Watching when there's like, hey, you got to survive a month of torture?
Mm-hmm.
How much torture did you actually have to survive?
I think it was like day 8 they drove through the wall and rescued us.
Yeah.
Fuck me, that was harrowing. Oh, that level.
Part of why that level is so effective is because you're like 31 days, like 20 days.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me?
That level is to me the highlight of why that game works so fucking well.
It's incredibly bothersome, not bothersome, visceral and just unnerving and awful. But it's like, I legit have to hold my breath when doing the Russian roulette thing. I don't even do that when playing Lisa.
Yeah, well, because death means nothing in Lisa. The lives of dipshits are nothing.
Right, it's true.
They're there to be used and expended, especially knowing
the round goes on for 32 rounds.
Sometimes,
with just the biggest guns. Alright, so, it's on the agenda.
Let's see. We got 2.5 hours to kill. Let's go clean up some checks.
Could talk to Joyce. We're on the way to her.
Okay. Sleeping dock worker. He's not there anymore. I assume I've just lost this.
He might show up at a different time.
We can do a composure check with Renee. He's right next door.
Legendary composure. I don't think we have that.
There's a trash container?
Is that the trash container next to the body? Or where the body was hung?
Maybe. Let's go check it out. Because Joyce is a big thing. I want to clean up with some little things if I can first.
Reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
17%.
Okay.
I also fucking hate you, Renee. No, you're a sad old man who doesn't know any better, but still, you're a fucking royalist.
He's been a royalist for a long time. Does that frog thing give you composure?
No, the frog is perception.
Oh, we need composure.
Because I have beady, suspicious eyes. The pants and the shoes give you composure. That's why I finally put pants on. Oh, I think the windbreaker. Yeah.
Oh, wow, we're actually pretty good on composure items. Practically compensates for
our lack of
awful
ability.
weakness.
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't wearing my
The purity of snow always reminds me of the purity of a man's soul, if he's got principles.
Still, all you see is an old soldier refusing to replace his uniform with a civilian attire.
Anything else I can assist you with, officer?
Well, I'm sure we'll find more out about him because I've got this photograph and like there's been hints that there's more going on in his backstory we don't know about. Gonna take off the jacket because I don't want to take the hit to my shivers. Plus, I need to show off my fabulous mesh shirt.
Clinically insane.
Clinically insane shirt and my suicidal sunglasses. Sorry, shades of self-destruction. That's what it was. Though it does give me a logic penalty under suicidal ideation.
Again, you find yourself looking at that big old window.
Has the time come?
It says it's not time yet.
It's not time yet. Even without that penalty, we'd need an 11. God. Try the fucking mirror again. Oh yeah, we can confront the Hardy Boys.
Yeah, we might be able to do something with that.
Hey Titus, because there's a massive check to assert my authority on them, and this will probably help.
Okay.
But first.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Bam.
The chain cutters slip out of your hands as you attempt
There's got to
twist
be
the
a
forces
better
into
way.
place. Well,
Get this goddamn.
You're never gonna fix this thing.
Again, I don't care except for the fact it's just turning off the goddamn tap. Was that an option before?
Oh, an empty cassette case.
Interesting.
Can we do something with that?
I mean, we unspooled it. Oh, what are you?
the window stands broken in its frame. Cold wind blows in. What do you mean? Assess the damage. How would you do
Snake
that? What are you
Eyes.
even trying to do?
That owns.
The morning light hurts your eyes.
The fucking window's broken. Yeah. Fucking weird, ain't it?
Sure is. You know why it's broken.
Because we threw our shoe out it.
Right.
That's-
so. I guess it doesn't really matter that you couldn't solve this one.
Yeah, that would have just been our clue to, oh, hey, maybe your shoe's on the balcony. And someone, Scruff, maybe somebody said earlier that when we went out to have our little evening cigarette with Kim, if we hadn't collected the shoe, he would have been like, hey, yo, is that your shoe?
That looks like your shoe. It has to be your shoe.
Oh. Increasing my perception makes more things selectable. Really? That makes sense. Interesting. Hey, Gart, I got this paper.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real? You must be kidding, right? Yeah, good one, officer. Real funny. But this establishment only takes cash. Now, do you have that cash, Mr. Novelty Check Man?
I have a giant novelty check.
They'll exchange it.
Oh, my giant novelty check.
Then why are you wasting my time? And yours?
Fine. How you doing, Lena? Do we got a thing about, like, the phone or something?
Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
Hey, Kim, no need to be a
Kim,
dick.
what the fuck?
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
My apologies, ma'am.
Not according to Lieutenant Kitsuragi, apparently.
It's not a hobby, dear. It's a subfield of zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do it. Universities these days are rarely interested in supporting real research.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline, but you doubt there was ever a time when cryptozoology was embraced by the academic elite. She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own.
I have this green ape pen.
Alright, you gotta get this one.
Sometimes the most charming thing
No,
you can
just
do
barely.
is be reasonable in your requests.
I suppose you could use a break and I could use a distraction.
All right.
One,
Mothman at me.
like you said. One. This can't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza. We have things to do.
Cryptid
I like the sound of
extravaganza.
that.
Just one.
Or he'll be disappointed in you. Ooh,
Well, I mean, we can do it when he's not
choice there.
around, but we can still ask one.
Are there any invisible cryptids?
What an interesting question. And the answer is yes, there are.
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
Push.
Shut the fuck up, Kim.
Koldamama. Its name means thin whisper of sound, and that's precisely what it is. Self-replicating sound waves, invisible and intangible. The Koldamama is very afraid of us, which makes it incredibly difficult to track.
Koldamama Dakwa can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
Could it be here?
It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. And we wouldn't know any better. It could be ringing all the days of our lives and nights. Yes, that's another translation. They're both quite lovely, aren't they? Although the low part is a little ironic. The Col de Mama d'Aqua makes, or rather is, such a high-pitched sound that other animals, including humans, can't hear it. It could be everywhere, all of the time, and we wouldn't know.
Creepy Col de Mama d'Aqua, always looking at me.
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
Many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a tiny corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this theory.
What if it's just a really loud...
Cricket?
What are they called? Cricket, yes. No. Tardigrade. What if it's just a really loud tardigrade?
Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. In the 1920s, a group of Areopagite ornithologists, that is, scientists who study birds, were trying out a new recording technology for capturing sounds outside the range of human hearing. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the Ea mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination were consistent with the waveforms of songbirds. The scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict what appeared to be feeding, mating, and migration patterns based on sound waves in a strictly delimited range of ultrasonic frequencies, even higher than those of the highest pitched bat calls.
She transforms, when speaking about these strange animals, into a confident woman.
They realized that they had discovered a new species and called it the Col de Mama d'Aqua, after the Paracanassian name for the voice of God, which is said to be very silent. They grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Even though they couldn't see them, they could distinguish among individual birds and
bird that is
even
constantly
began to
screaming
name
so that
some
it
of
is
them.
invisible.
Sequester, Time, Joscan, those are but some of the Mama d'Aqua they followed individually. That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for the project, and no doubt because they were preoccupied with impressing their professors, nearly drove it to extinction.
Gasp.
They tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started sending out sound waves at frequencies they thought might match the Mama d'Aqua's. And what happens when a sound wave meets another sound wave of the same frequency, dear?
They have a party.
This lady really should be a teacher. She's really good at the explaining things thing. Psst. They cancel each other out. Psst.
Psst. I don't know.
Well, dear, they cancel each other out. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon
Look, when I'm telling a story, I hate when someone steps in on it and starts, like, getting my punchlines to me before I do, and I wouldn't want to do that to her.
Great regret washes over her. A winding cloth.
Wait, you mean that thing that I do all the time?
No, you don't do it all the time. Come on.
The corpuscle appeared.
If anything, I do it to you more than anything. And I feel bad about
There
it.
have been recordings of anomalies similar to those.
Haha, my Catholic Jewish guilt beats yours.
They've been few and far between. It's impossible to confirm the presence of any stable Col de Mama d'Aqua population anywhere.
Of course. A common thread in these. Disappearance and unfalsifiability. I like the story, though, ma'am.
Hey, Kim, yay, look at that, see?
I'm glad you did, dear.
Oh, whoops.
What about
It's all right.
what?
We'll probably need it soon.
Of course, dear.
Yeah, we can
Oh
we
dear.
can come back to her.
I'm not sure
She's
where
always
to begin.
in this area.
Yeah.
Well,
We are trying to find out what happened to her missing husband, though.
slightly grumpy, but his eyes are
husband
always
is missing.
bright and curious, like a small boy's. And his palms are quite coarse from all the field work, but he's quite gentle.
It's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down the woman's description.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case. We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn. Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow.
Yes, I believe that's the Play-Doh anniversary.
By a dating agency, I'm ashamed to say.
Is the anniversary where you play with
I was
Play-Doh, or
looking
where you
to
give
get
something made
back
out of
into the
Play-Doh?
scene
It's the gift, yeah. You give Play-Doh.
accident. And he just
Because it's like, you know, paper, wood, silver, gold, human waste.
Orichalcum.
Orichalcum.
Lunite.
Unobtainium.
We hit it off, and
Arsenic.
well, here we are. I hope I've been useful.
Okay. Well, we'll probably be wearing field gear. That's actually somewhat useful. There's no Sleepy Man.
Nope.
No Sleepy
But
Man.
Titus is here.
Titus is here. Hey, Titus!
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here.
Did you think that one up all on your own? Were you saving it for this moment?
3%.
A bullet, you say? That's mighty curious.
Indeed, mighty. How did it get there?
Well, there are so many bullets in the world, and so many heads.
Yeah, it's just a
Not good
statistical
enough.
likelihood that some bullets are going to meet some heads.
I guess it's only logical.
Fuck you, Titus.
One of them bullets had to end up in one of them heads.
It's bound to happen again, you know? Just statistically speaking, of course.
Hey, Elaine. Have I ever shown you my spin kick?
Sire, it would be an event most dramatic if you were to produce the bullet and dangle it before their very eyes.
For the drama.
Wow! He's got it in a real evidence bag and all!
You're not respecting the drama.
Why don't you go home and log it into evidence? These men have told you what happened.
Shit! I probably did shoot him. I was drunk last night. You guys know me when I'm drunk.
Yeah, Glenn likes to shoot his guns when he's drunk. Better hope he stays sober.
So Glenn is the sole guilty party then.
Oh, he meant before he was hanged. Did you shoot him before you hanged him?
Before? After? During? This is getting ridiculous. They told you what happened. Stop wasting your time.
They did not tell me. I'm starting to hate you.
She's doing her job pretty well.
I have a real thing about this type of character. The fucking the pink bitch from Harry Potter is like the queen of this type of character. The fucking like smarmy gaslighting with every word she says and not being like even good about it. Like not even having the common decency to be a good liar.
It's pronounced lawyer.
Yes. I fucking hate that.
You know what I think? I think he was shot in the head as a kid, and his brain grew around the bullet.
Around the bullet, man. That's a good one.
All the goofing around is to avoid lying. It's a technique. They're only pretending to enjoy this. Beneath the act, they don't like you knowing this.
Never been worried in my life, lawman.
It's not like you blew it wide open, but there's a little crack in there, somewhere.
There we go.
Too bad that didn't even change our odds.
No, I still need a 12.
Again.
Good one,
Nothing new here.
About fucking time.
Get the fuck out of here. Like, at least I can deal with Titus. Titus is just a fucking thug. Like, you know, I will punch you in the face. Okay, I have a complete. We are all on the same page. You are an angry, violent gorilla of a man, and you want to do violence. Cool. We all understand this. Fucking lawyers, man. Lawyers and guidance counselors. What's her goddamn name? The pink lady from Harry Potter that I was talking about.
Don't
know.
What's her fucking
Could it be the Calder Mama Dakwa? No, it's probably just your imagination ringing in your ear. There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right?
Good.
It's
Now
like
we're looking
something
for this.
Tickles your ear. Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird. There it is again. You're about to rediscover a long-lost species.
They're gonna name it after me.
It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward you.
They're gonna call it the Herodotus Dubois bird.
No, I don't hear the Koldomama Dakwa, and neither do you.
Don't tell me what I don't hear.
Of course he doesn't. He's deaf. Oh no. The sound. It's moving away. Somewhere over there. Go after it. No. Too late. It's gone.
No, come back.
Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again.
Seven hours of research time.
Yeah, that's gonna take a minute. So let's get that simmering. Congratulations, you have tinnitus. Who are you?
Who is that?
Wait, hold on. I have to examine the shit.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here. Heavy workers' boots with reinforced toes and hobnails, all over the yard. Isn't this something an industrial worker would wear?
Noted.
Okay.
8 pairs of boots have shuffled
9.
back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots? That's right. The hardy boys in the mess hall of Whirling in Rags. 1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. This is the big dick. Titus Hardy. The one with the bald cap on his head.
And you two must be the little balls standing either side of him.
Is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene is easy. Maybe even too easy. 2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy, Glenn, or the young guy with a plectrum around his neck. 3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 43.
I imagine these have to be in metric measurements.
4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46. Theo, the old smoker. You think you even see a tiny fleck of cigarette ash inside the print.
Bullshit that would still be here after a week, but okay.
5. Another standard work boot. Reinforced toes. Number 44. Same as before. Either the musician, Eugene, or the muscle-bound blonde, Glenn. 6. Light as air. Same make of boot, but number 41. Small like a rat. Shanky.
So, visual calculus is just your Sherlock Holmes check.
Mm-hmm.
Just look at a thing and just discern all sorts of nonsense from it.
You're not bad. It's as if the whole world darkens, and the tracks burn in it with strange beauty. 7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. Fat Angus. Carrying something? 8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Curious. A missing 8th Hardy Boy.
Someone with a limp, maybe? If you had a limp, you'd have to put more weight on one leg. That would wear down a boot faster. That would wear one boot down faster than the other.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardy Boys were here. That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing.
Note to self. This would be a good question to ask Titus. Where's the 8th man? A leader like Titus doesn't let one of his guys out of sight easily, especially at a time like this.
Interesting. Let's name it the Old Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardy Boy. Wonder who he is. Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor? Or maybe a drummer?
He regrets it the moment he says it.
So one of the people we're looking for is a drummer.
No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out the right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
If only I had come up with that idea.
He doesn't seem to hear you, looking south toward the traffic jam instead. The machines are silent. The engines are all turned off.
But what if that drummer has a double kick pedal?
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no? I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardy Boy. The one with his front teeth missing. Yes, well, he did look a bit like a rat. You're right. Do you think those prints belong to him? I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not. 200. This could be the combined weight of 2 people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man. Maybe it was a fat Hardy Boy, the one sitting in the middle.
How much? What is the kilograms to... What does 200 kilograms mean? In
200 kilograms is a lot of grams.
I'm American and we use silly numbers. 441 pounds.
That's pretty.
That's a lot.
Big.
That's. I'm big. I'm fairly big in all ways, and I'm 309 last time I weighed myself. So that's. Yeah, it's not just Fat Angus in and of himself.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
Probably yes. This would also fit with the victim being dead from a previous gunshot wound. They had to carry...
That also means that Fat Angus is strong as a fucking ox. Carrying that guy all by his goddamn self.
Is there anything else that's noteworthy here?
Like if he were to get up and, like, come at me, he's got to be one of them fucking bodybuilder types.
A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Revachol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
But we know the victim had a bullet in his head. A more precise way to put it is, it was made to look like a lynching. By these tracks? Yes.
There's also, like, no undue signs of struggle.
Correct.
So, it's very unlikely that the body was alive. At the very least, he was not conscious. But I'm not about to tell them that.
The trash container. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. A box falls into... Not much to see here. There's nothing more of interest in this sludge of peels, and the container sounds a muffled gong.
There was a physical instrument check somewhere.
Yeah, maybe a different trash container? I don't know.
Maybe, let's see.
No, it looks like we're about where you're standing.
Yeah, it's behind the whirling and rags.
Yeah.
It's, maybe it's... Let's go through... Hello, what are you? Have I gone?
Some things you didn't see before?
Yeah. Did I go that way?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how you, What's not supposed to be there?
I have the thing open so I can't access it again. The physical instrument check?
Oh, okay.
Oh, instead of getting the keys.
Yeah, but getting the key was easy.
Heart. It's amphetamine. Sweet amphetamine. The lieutenant isn't studying the powder in the mirror. He's studying you. There's a good vague way to ask where he stands on drug use. Professionally, I mean.
I've heard amphetamines make you a really good detective. Are you a really good detective?
I'm just a regular detective, thank you very much. Perhaps not. This is below our pay grade, detective. However, but that there was an interesting find. An alternative path into the harbor that the kid uses. Well done.
I want the amphetamines.
We could probably come back after hours.
Yeah. Add it
Put
to
on
the
a list
list.
of things to do.
Yeah. Not like I'm going to be sleeping tonight anyway. Get boots, do drugs, talk to pawn dealer about drugs, and guns.
And guns. Talk to Lena about cryptozoology.
Yeah. P. Figure out reality. Postcard. Yeah, I got an hour and a half. We can go talk to Joyce about some reality. It's been a minute since we talked to Joyce, and I keep meaning to go to Joyce, and I'm getting distracted. Like, I could go talk to Titus about the fucking boot marks, but, like, I'm going to find other shit to throw in his face, too, so I might as well save it up and do it all at once. Excuse me. All right, let's go talk to the queen of the neolibs. Remember, kids, incremental change.
I'm going to drive this knife into your throat. Incrementally.
Trust President Biden. Oh, damn it, I got political again on this stream. Fuck. Look, I know streamers who use subtext and they're all cowards.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
Yeah, Perception's getting a bunch of things.
Yeah.
The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message written in the language of burnt rubber.
Well, Scruff, you've got... Is it still Trudeau? Is he still in charge? I admit I don't know how the Canadian election cycle works.
Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the word.
Yeah, now my eyeballs work.
This is point A. The driver started there.
Last I heard, blackface photos of him had resurfaced, and I don't remember the response to that.
And then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager. Why that pang of guilt again?
Did I do this?
The hole in this fence doesn't look that huge. He was exaggerating. People blame cops for everything that goes wrong in the world. This has nothing to do with you. The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building. Before heading south. Must have been in a hurry.
Oh, sorry. More blackface photos surfaced. My apologies.
You are correct. This is a rather motor carriage-friendly city.
Somehow that makes you feel scared. You don't know why.
I'm not sure. There are plenty of traffic accidents waiting to happen in Martinez.
There was actually a large media campaign around the dawn of the automobile, because initially roads were shared between pedestrians and drivers. And there was a media campaign put out to, every time someone got hit by a vehicle, instead of like, oh, the automotive industry might be, putting something that needs to be, made safe. The spin was, look at these foolish people standing around and walking in the roads where cars go.
South. There seems to be a canal there. See where they went.
Okay, so we got tire tracks we can follow.
It's amazing what happens when I can see things. I also put a point into perception at some point.
Yeah, that was what swung it.
Between that and my froggy visor, look at that! What are you? What are you? A J was actually a city term for someone from the country, is where that term came from. The logic being that they're, in the city for the first time and have never seen a street or a car before. Hence, jaywalker. And yes, by someone from the country, that predominantly meant black and migrant workers. So there were heavy racist connotations.
What's that container over there? Yeah, there was an outline.
This?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
Those are the telescopes.
Yeah, telescopes.
The binocular, the tourist lookers. Find these and more interesting facts on Adam Ruins Everything. I really like that show.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here.
All right. We're getting close. Yeah, let's take a swing at it.
Yeah.
Nope.
Why?
No,
It's
7. Just
Why
under
must we
it.
stop to look at this wall every time we pass by? We have business to attend to.
We don't have any skill points at the moment, but we do have a handful of conceptualization checks. The sunglasses. Joyce has got one, and the wall. So next time we get a skill point, we might want to throw it into that to redo those checks, because also there is a red check for the ultra rich man in the cargo container.
A conceptualization check.
Yeah, we got to present him an idea to invest in, remember?
Oh, yeah. And that's like an impossible thing.
Yeah, it's very high and it's red, so I didn't try it and it wouldn't show up on the list.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with?
Well, I've talked to Everard.
You have. And how did you like Mr. Clare?
He is the champion I've sworn fealty. He's a bloated rainbow socialist.
There's your fascist option.
Come on now. He has his...
Oh, shit. Is it? Damn it, that's not what I meant.
Might be.
These years. Or wait. Actually... corruption. That's how he's done it. Fantastic. Worm-like.
I was thinking of it in terms of, like,
Into the
you know how they say rainbow capitalism come Pride Month?
Mm-hmm.
The position of my unusual colleague does not.
Oh,
reflect
yeah, like he
official
was,
policy.
like
he was-
false in his advertisement of being humane to his people.
Yeah.
Of course. And I don't expect you to share anything
Although,
I told you with
this
me.
is supposed to be set in an
I'm not a
alternate
corrupt
1950s. That term would mean nothing.
myself.
Who the fuck knows what that means?
Yeah.
However, if you felt like
There is no LBGT movement. There is no pride flag. There is no connotation for rainbow in that context.
how could I stop you? Are we not human? Are we not curious to hear another person's take? It's only natural.
Damn it, I got me a fascist point.
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Yes, your disgusting necktie agrees completely. Let's gossip.
Yes, let us gossip.
Weird. Oh no. One of the positive things
I love the VA for the necktie.
is the unhindered exchange of information, you see, even when it comes to trade secrets. Which isn't to suggest our talks constitute corporate espionage. Even if they did, it would be fine. But they don't, since you logged the money as a donation, and this is clearly just gossip between friends.
Yes, no bribery involved.
The lieutenant might have, but I don't remember you logging anything as anything, Harry.
Did you now? What sort of borscht is he making? The strike brew. That's a classic. And by turn up the heat, I presume you mean put more alcohol in it?
Booze.
Why, if I may ask? Why make them more drunk? Aren't they corked enough already?
Yes, detective.
Can't get too
what
drunk.
were you hoping to accomplish with this strange thing?
I worship Al Ghul in many ways.
Very curious. A very curious thing to do.
Who's Al Ghul again?
That was what Measure had referred to as your alcoholism.
Ah, yes, okay.
So alcohol.
Truly.
So you
That's
said you
how it
worship
operates.
alcohol.
He just
Okay.
does things, man.
Because I was definitely like,
Even if it's
there's a Batman villain named Al Ghul,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what my brain went to. But like that can't be. That is absolutely not what they're
has
talking about.
overtaken the lieutenant. He's just going with the flow now. Easy.
What else? Oh. That's so helpful of him.
The lieutenant looks at you, and you can swear. Trembling.
Unconventional police officers sometimes lose their guns. They then go around and tell people about this to gauge their reactions. So far.
I wish I had a the cuff and the blood pressure thing. I wish I could test Kim's blood pressure right now.
Incredible. Simply incredible. And how is it going? Has this detecting produced a gun? Well, maybe he's not as helpful as you thought then. Is there anything else? Of course, Detective. Should something come up later down the road, don't be afraid to drop by for a chat.
Can I have more money?
Until then, is there anything I can help you with? What would you like to know? Of course there are. We're on an archipelago. How else are you supposed to get around?
There is a pinch of defensiveness in her voice, but it is playful.
Wait, we're on an archipelago?
Yes, we are. We are on Le Caillou.
That little fuck.
We are. And the city of Revachol is on the island of Le Caillou.
Who is Caillou and why does everyone hate him? Like, I know what he looks like. Little cartoon bald kid.
I haven't seen anyone else drive a souped-up Capri Kenema motor carriage either.
Actually, that motor carriage has been specially issued to serve as a patrol and pursuit vehicle.
Caillou is a rock.
It's for crossing long distances in the greater Revachol industrial harbor. It's not a toy.
Neither is this. A toy, I mean. It's a machine for crossing long distances in the Bay of Revachol, between the city and the islands.
You need to make this lady admit she's only riding around on this boat because she's rich.
Yes.
Before you do, it will be pertinent to ask other questions. Gather more info on this boat of hers.
The boat? No. It is called Cor de Lady 19 because that's the type of sloop it is.
The word "it" feels strange. Such a beautiful boat deserves a proper name.
Name it.
Okay. How about Cor de Lady 19? Why?
So not only are you rich, you're just completely joyless.
Because it was manufactured in Revachol East by a company called Cor de Lady, and its hull is 19 paces long.
Dolores.
Why Dolores?
I used to have an aunt named Dolores.
I had a grandma, Dolores.
Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. But thank you for the suggestion. Okay, because it was manufactured in the X something.
Just the X something.
Very absurd. Thank you for the suggestion. I will stick with the factory name for now, but thank you. Okay, because it was manufactured in What? I think I'll stick with the factory name.
No, we're naming your goddamn boat.
Thank you for the suggestion. I see the word has emotional resonance for you. Okay, because it was...
Joyce.
Oh, I do like the sound of that. It sounds so decisive, so, powerful.
She's not actually considering it. It's sarcasm.
Damn it, Joyce.
Okay.
All your suggestions suck.
It was What?
I'm sorry, but sleek fish is the best idea anyone has ever had about anything ever.
Well, it means nothing to me. I think I'll stick with the factory name. It's a pleasure craft. A 19 pacer. It also happens to be rated for Category 1 racing. Though these days I mainly use it for business. My sloop? I like it a lot. It's the eel's hips, baby.
I'm enjoying this part of the interview. It has so little to do with the murder we're investigating.
You fucking... you pissy little bitch.
I really do, the lieutenant thinks. Is she thrown off yet? He's looking at the woman, assessing her.
Oh my, the E word. You mean to say that it's a symbol of conspicuous consumption? That I'm a member of the ruling class?
Class wartime, baby!
Detective, may I remind you that Mrs. Messier is a professional negotiator?
Then what does that say? Does it say docking reserved for residents of Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33A? 33A? This old proletarian haunt here? As I said, plenty of people drive boats, of all social strata.
know about the revolution, and it's the eel's heels.
Reaction speed.
No, might as well go for it. You may not get it, but...
Eh.
Yeah! 11! This house was built before the revolution.
Okay, it is anti-centennial. I assure you, they drove quite a hard bargain for this space. But you're right. I am a bourgeois woman, and this is my fast, lightweight, interminably bourgeois boat.
There is no
Got
shame
her.
in her voice. A touch of sadness? Yes. But
Not
no
really.
shame.
But, you know, made her admit that she's rich. You fucking nailed her. Good job.
Good. That's the man who was killed. I'm afraid this is a discussion for once we've cleared the lynching question. Better not tie the fourth day to the bat stay on this. I hope there is something else I can help you with.
What the fuck did you just say?
She wants to answer the question. Protocol keeps her from it.
Quite a few things, I'm afraid.
Worry lines crease her forehead, but it's more than worry.
We got an hour until Smoking Man comes home.
Guilt?
The information I'm to share with you includes sensitive trade secrets. For the sake of my employer, I have to ask for your names and badge numbers.
Of course, ma'am. We should have introduced ourselves. I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi from Precinct 57. And this is my colleague from Precinct 41, Detective Dubois. I'm afraid Harry doesn't have his badge at the moment. I hope mine will suffice.
Oh, and what happened to yours, Detective?
Awkwardness washes over the conversation. The woman doesn't like this turn of events.
I got hungry, so I ate it.
'Twas stolen by some artist, surely. Best to pin the blame on them. Everyone knows you can't trust artists.
Remember
Why should I blame it on an artist? Drama?
Everyone knows.
Why was that a challenging success?
They're nearly as bad as clowns.
Clowns. I just rewatched The Joker earlier today.
Oh yeah, I still haven't seen it. I kind of wanted to.
It's really powerful up until the last half hour or so, and then it gets real stupid.
You mean someone stole your badge? Some Arlequinos, you say?
What's an Arlequino?
I'm afraid what I need to tell you...
Did I just say a racist thing?
I really need to discuss it, however, with the RCM.
Sounds like
and I need your
Harlequin.
badge for that.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Unbelievable, sire. Even the Arlequinos didn't work.
Remember when I told you I literally cannot remember the basic facts about reality?
How can I forget? I was hoping your condition was rhetorical, Detective. A questioning technique.
I wish it
I
was.
have sympathy for your highly unusual conditions, sir. And I believe you. But as it stands, I cannot share any confidential information until I've seen both your badges.
I understand the dictates of protocol, ma'am, but is there no way around it?
I'm afraid not, Lieutenant. These are my employer's orders.
Hang on. She's a professional negotiator. She should be open to some sort of mutually beneficial arrangement. I mean, favors for favors. A dirty alliance of some sort. Consider this.
I guess I'm not married anymore, so there's no real...
That you convince yourself into colluding with her.
Pretty good odds?
Easy. Just
7.
offer her a favor. Like I said, nice and dirty.
How, like... Is there going to be cake involved? I don't know why people are so into cake these days.
I will be frank with you. If I'm going to break protocol, I need to be able to justify it to my superiors. They're going to want to see something very tangible.
You're tangible.
You're in, but expect her to drive a hard bargain.
Reports from inside Terminal B suggest it's a hub for the local drug trade. This is an open secret in Martinez. The Union controls the terminal, so it goes to reason. The company has tried looking into this matter before, to no avail,
Perhaps someone with your authority and resources might turn over the right stones. Or you can recover your badge. Though if I may be blunt with you, it sounds like that may be a lost cause.
Detective, a word in private before we continue.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Brota. Evening falls. The time has come to take the vow.
The vow?
The vows are blood and flesh.
Blood.
What is my intestine going on about?
Lower intestine? The term is metabolic and circulatory system. Fascism, Brota.
What?
Ah, yeah. You said something fascist.
God damn it.
Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut.
That explains all of the unnecessary umlauts.
Liberals?
Oh, God. Oh, sorry, I'm getting lightheaded. Hold on.
I thought you were my circulatory system. Leftist academians?
Welcome to the House of Blood.
Yes, them.
Hold on, Kim. Hold on. I need to consult my inner fascist. Woman.
Women.
Well, yeah.
Men of... You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Woo men need to go back to the fucking kitchen.
What the fuck?
That's what fascism boils down to.
But I'm a feminist.
Important. But the main thing is that women need to know their place. Feminists? No.
Feminist?
Not you. No one believes this.
Did you know you can forget thoughts? Go to and forget all about feminism.
Am I having a seizure?
Tutorial agent is also fascist, I guess.
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
Why am I getting this?
I wanted to make one joke about clowns. I'm sorry.
The good things. You've said them many times.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh. What if we called it something else? You know, what if we,
like traditionalism?
What if we came up with a system where we could say one thing, but people who were in the know heard, you know, what we really meant, the subtext, kind of like how when you need to get an attention of a pet, you have like a special device that only speaks to them, you know, like cat kazoo.
Certain frequency.
Yes, let's call it that. Good thinking. That sounds much better. Traditionalism. You like the sound of that. You're going to keep your voos, right? Keep your voos, Brota.
No, go fuck yourself, Guts.
There's a slow, painful growl somewhere in your intestines, knocking on your alcohol-engorged liver. It is one of betrayal and disappointment.
That was excellent.
Okay, Kim. What you got? Maybe we gotta take a couple of steps away from Joyce before we can have our little secret conference.
This is not going quite as I hoped it would, Detective. Honestly, I was expecting you to use your unorthodox technique to keep her off balance, and you know, not volunteer us to be her henchman.
I thought it was going
This
good.
woman is running circles around us. She might have known about your misplaced badge all along, or she's simply an adept improviser. Either way, we've played straight into her hands.
He doesn't let it show, but there is a limit to how much the consequences of your unprofessional behavior can cost the investigation.
I mean, if we investigate the drug trafficking, then I can keep all the drugs.
No. If there is reasonable suspicion, we must investigate. Otherwise, she could claim we are siding with the Union, or that we are on their take. We'd never hear the end of it.
Okay, but we've already been seen siding with the Union, so this will just balance it out.
What I propose is, we ask her, Then we investigate, briefly. But do not share the outcome of this investigation with her. We tell her it's done and demand for her information on the lynching. Oh, that would be fantastic, but do we have the time? The world is large and your badge is 8 by 6 centimeters.
The situation might have changed drastically by the time you locate it. Time is of the essence.
Where's my
You could
badge?
request a new one from your station, but that would literally take months.
Okay, well, just because we tell her we're going to investigate doesn't lock us into that.
What can I help you with? It's quite straightforward. Someone is using Terminal B to smuggle raw ingredients from the Samar and Isola into Revachol with the Union's blessing. Wild Pines has suspected it for years.
Ingredients for what, ma'am?
Meth and dextroamphetamine, GBL, and various synthetic psychedelics. Honestly, it might be quicker to say what you can't make from the stuff. Yes, after they clear the terminal, we lose track. The actual production is taking place at various sites in and around Jamrock Quarter, north of here.
Wild Pine seems to be well apprised of the local drug trade, ma'am. Do you mean to say the Union also produces the product? Sells drugs, I mean?
We're in logistics. It's our business to know. And no. As far as the company knows, the Union does not produce it. They transport the ingredients for a cut. Yes, but you won't get anything out of Evrat and the Dock Workers Union. Still, every chain has its weak link.
The handoff. The motor lorries at the roundabout.
Am I going to need bolt cutters for this?
Unlikely, officer. I'm talking about the lorries. Once the ingredients reach Jamrock, they're distributed to a network of local manufacturers, well beyond our grasp. But in transit, they may be vulnerable. Perhaps you've noticed that a number of lorries are tangled in a traffic jam at the roundabout just now. Interview the drivers who are still hanging about. One of them might be waiting for a crucial shipment. I'll be explicit.
You've already done
If you
some
find
talking
this
to the
driver,
drivers.
I will share company secrets with you.
Or if you find your badge.
Or if we find our badge.
The two might even be connected.
Or not. Though, if you have evidence to the contrary, I'm eager to hear it.
As eager as I am to share it, Lieutenant, once the job is done. No. We asked East Motor Track to raise the drawbridge. The road company is a partner of one of our subsidiaries. However, this is a limited time opportunity. Once the complaint has been processed by the Trade Committee, they'll have no choice but to lower the drawbridge, and the operation will continue. Thousands of litres of raw ingredients will pour onto the streets of Revachol. Not the east across the river, but the west. The vulnerable, the weary.
Well, at least this solves one mystery.
What is that, Lieutenant?
Why I had to call East Motor Track and beg them to open a drawbridge for me. I'd wondered since I first drove in, on my motor carriage.
I am sorry for the inconvenience, Lieutenant Kisaragi, but we need them trapped here. This is a unique opportunity. I'm sure you understand.
Yeah, I understand a corporation using its capital to use the government and authority structures for its own private business interests.
We did. On more than one occasion. Apparently, there's some sort of inter-precinct disagreement about whose jurisdiction this area falls under.
We know the company has launched its own probe into the Union's alleged involvement. We also know it's come up empty. It's not just the RCN. No one's been able to find any hard evidence.
Well, here's your chance, officers. How do you think they're financing this strike? There are thousands of unpaid dock workers going strong for the 4th month straight.
There was a shakedown of local businesses preceding the strike.
I mean, so part of a union's responsibilities is to maintain a strike fund to be able to provide for its workers in the event of a strike, harvesting nuts for the winter, so to speak. But yeah, that's 4 months.
One
that's
reason why they take dues, I guess.
Yeah, amongst other things. That's a lot, though. That's a long time.
With all due respect to these desert cacti, the contents of a few cash registers cannot provide for 2,000 men. The local businesses can scarcely provide for themselves. Precisely. Smuggled out of that very gate at night, most likely, then loaded onto lorries and driven to Jamrock. You simply need to find one driver who will open up to you.
It sounds like she tried looking into it herself, though she's clearly not the type your typical lorry man would confide in.
You don't have to agree to the smuggling thing. But we can come back to it.
Yeah, I don't have enough information.
Simply nods.
Let's talk about
Still got a half hour.
Reality? My favorite part of the day. Go ahead, ask me anything.
Esprit de corps is very high. Here's the conceptualization.
Oh, yeah.
A bird? A Svenicid? Of course you're not, my dear. I'm just terrible at guessing games. Of course. Ask me anything. The girl in the old lady rags. Looks like a solid... Yes, she prefers a
here I didn't get.
world. An infraculture with its own dress. I can't. That's how simple it is. One may dye their hair green and wear their grandma's coat, all they want. Capital has the ability to subsume all critiques into itself. Even those who would critique capital end up reinforcing it instead. All
Whoops.
right. What next?
Oh no. Turns out it's
Look as I look at my fucking new iPhone.
It's a rigged game that's so rigged that we can't even even when we talk about it being rigged, that's part of the rig.
Of course, no time for silly infracultures. There are more.
We're in Martinez. A casual term of endearment.
Yeah, we did this already. There's nothing
for
new
not
in
knowing about
here.
it. Unimportant, they say.
Oh wait, tell me more about Martinez. We didn't get that.
I've only been here once before, as a teenager. Not a lot has changed. There are ruins, a terminal, fishing boats, reeds, boys with boxy shoulders.
A brief spike of longing in her upright body. The dots under her eyelids shake.
This place used to be a province, a workers' resort before the city swallowed it and the artillery did its work. The reeds are the real star of the show here now. The further down the coast, the wilder it gets. Yes, I was slumming it with some girlfriends of mine. We had boats and... Don't hold it against me. The boys certainly did not.
Yay!
I would be happy to. What is a preposterously expensive education for, if not sharing?
Okay. Let's take a look at this esprit de corps. Check.
72%.
West, in the Valley of Dogs, Junior Officer Chad Tilbrook takes aim at a rabid black dog licking its wounds in the grass. To his left, his partner, Emil Mullins, whispers, "You heard what happened to Tequila Sunset in Martinez?" "Yes, he lost his mind," Tilbrook answers, fingers on the trigger. "Don't worry, Emil." He pulls it out slowly. Slowly now. He'll find it again. We always do.
Am I Tequila Sunset?
You? You're an officer of the RCM. Preciso Mundo. Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Yes, we are the Revachol Citizens Militia.
He's being sarcastic.
We are.
Yes, that means not de jure. The RCM acts in what is poetically called the twilight of international law, both at the behest of the coalition government and to its chagrin. The RCM's responsibilities are defined by the Emergency, Wayfarer and Aliments Acts, 3 pieces of legislation keeping the city in a let's be honest, laissez-faire stasis to the benefit of foreign capital.
All three are good to know when we are out police here.
There's nothing basic about your role, Detective. It's true that the RCM keeps everything the way our seemingly permanent, provisional rulers like it. Yet, on the other hand, I know these people. I deal with them daily. Let me tell you, dear, they are not fans of you.
What did I do?
The post-revolutionary decade was a disaster for the coalition government. Revachol in the 20s was hell, especially on the west side of the river. Gang warfare, a botched privatization scheme, a nuclear pile meltdown. They called it the international zone because no nation wanted to claim responsibility. The RCM restored peace where the coalition failed. A true blue citizens' initiative. They will never forgive you.
That's somewhat of an exaggeration. In reality, ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement. Revacholians get to keep the peace in Revachol, and the coalition doesn't have to worry about it. Anyway, sorry to intrude. Please continue.
Yes, Lieutenant. Permit me to conclude with this. Who you are, to me, is the police. The only legitimate law enforcement authority in Revachol. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I'm here to help. Nothing more nor less than the de facto law enforcement body of post-revolutionary Revachol, Detective.
Yes, we are.
He's being sarcastic.
Yes, that means... Permit me to conclude with this. And if those authorities drink so hard they need help recalling the basic terms of reality, well, I am here to help. Glad to have been
So
of
we got this
assistance.
conceptualization check. And there were 2 more. They're all locked, I believe. Doing a quick...
Both very hard checks.
Yep. Sunglasses. Joyce. On the wall. Conceptualization. There we go. Alright, no modifiers on that. Satin shirt. Lounge jacket. Before we continue with her, because there's quite a bit to do, we're going to take a brief hop over here.
Go back to the wall.
To the wall.
Just an ordinary wall. Nothing to see here. Because you see it.
5.
Finally. This wall is sublime. Look at it. The shadows, the colors. All the other walls on all the other houses must make a pilgrimage in adoration of this, the uncontested pinnacle of wallcraft, color peeled from the very face of God. Oh, Wall Father.
God damn it.
Huh? He sounds tired of it all. Cindy the Skull has all the necessary materials. Talk to her.
Draw nourishment from the beauty of the wall.
If you must.
She's neoliberal by necessity of survival in a world taken over by feckless neoliberals. Yeah. Yeah.
Hello again, officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
What for?
The apocalypse is coming. I need to warn people.
Well, if it's for art. But what kind of art are we talking about? Let me stop you right there, Piggy. You have no idea, do you? No idea. No brush? Fuck off. You're about to cry internally, aren't you, Piggy? Oh, pathetic. Just give up. Art isn't for you.
A 17 on an 8.
Why are you crushing my dreams? There's got to be something I can do. Something to convince her I'm a real artist. Oh. Also, we got a trophy there. What was that? Say 7 deranged superstar lines.
You're back. Good. What can I help you with? Sadly, I need this one myself. It's hydrophobic, repels water, almost magically. The company makes them for offshore platform personnel. Very sturdy. What I can do for you is answer some questions. Nothing like talking to pass a rainy day. More lessons in basic reality. My favorite part of the day.
Whoosh.
Ask me anything.
Maybe we should check out the rest of the trees first, see if that gives us any benefits.
There may be a way to get her speaking about herself at some later juncture. Everyone wants to talk about themselves. She will, in time.
It's a neurological disorder caused by a lack of vitamin B in the brain. Symptoms include retrograde amnesia. It's quite serious. You should get yourself checked out.
She conveys it in short, cold bursts, trying not to invest too deeply in the condition of this doomed detective, in case he goes down later, souring the entire portfolio.
It's not just me, Detective. All of Martinez has placed its chips on your success. I pray we've all bet wisely. Well, it's either bariatric surgery or long-term alcohol use.
It's definitely the drinking.
Slowly.
Yes, and perform autoerotic asphyxiation on yourself with your funny necktie out in the open somewhere.
Ooh, can I do that? Is that an option?
It's a new
Where, Ty? Tell me where.
Caused by
She conveys it in case he goes down.
Is that the kind of thing that Kim would judge me for?
These are unimportant times, Detective. You and I were born after the dust had settled. 1,000th of a second too late for the big time. The revolution. It's quite easy. Every 100 years or so, our species gets together to decide what's next, who gets shot in the head, and who gets the mineral rights. It's a real kerfuffle. Those would be the communists. Generally speaking, 40 million people got shot in the head during the World Revolution. But the communists, they all got shot in the head.
She's not gloated. It's a relieved celebration.
Grr.
Oh, and the anarchists too. They shot them well. So well, one forgets they even existed.
She likes the totality of it.
Did they ever? Before they got shot themselves, they shot 2 million people.
This does not represent the official RCM opinion.
Don't worry. Klaus Mazov shot 15 million people in the head. But that was all the way over in Grad. Oh, lots of people. Even the king got shot in the head, or thrown beneath a horse, or drowned. Accounts
Or stabbed, or poisoned.
Unceremonious. Just as well, he wasn't actually the king. Just the king's nephew. The real king abdicated and lived out a long and productive life as a venture capitalist in Grad.
Or his brain melted from cocaine use.
I prefer the term risk-averse. King Guillaume was nobody's fool. He could smell a PR disaster brewing, so he got out alive, and his nephew Fricelle got shot in his place. Him and tens of thousands of his wonderfully fascist kingsmen. It was a wild time. The liberals got the mineral rights. And by mineral rights, I mean everything. Liberals are usually middle-class people, Detective, or the remaining gentry, the beneficiaries of the pre-revolutionary.
God, I remember when we had a middle class.
Some were rich enough to stay with the Constitution, with monarchy. Big mistake. Others bet on the revolution. They were called the Ultras, or Ultra-Liberals. They fared well. They didn't win so much as survive. We were the last ones standing when the war ended. Everyone else got shot in the head, remember?
Fucking Cossacks.
She's one of them. Of course.
To foreign intervention. The coalition. Those people really took the mineral rights. The liberals took everything that wasn't nailed to the ground. The coalition took the ground. The ocean, the laws, and the people.
I guess the coalition is the UN?
The coalition of nations. Grad, Mesk, Vesper, Messina, Oranje, and Sur-le-Clay. The armed center of the world. They landed here and ended the revolution. It was the moralist thing to do.
There is bitterness in her voice, tempered with understanding. She is critical, but ultimately understands the cause.
The moralists believe in keeping everything exactly the way it is. They believe in mineral rights, and not shooting people in the head.
You know, some people need to get shot in the head.
At least not in the same manner and volume as the others do. They are the long-standing provisional rulers of Revachol now, the coalition government. This is their zone of control. They embolden the RCM with crumbs of the same law they took. Technically speaking, you are a moralist.
Take that back.
The color of moralism is blue. The official motto of Moral Intern, or Moralist International, is a blue forget-me-not, a piece of grey sky. Unofficial. For a moment, there was hope.
If always pictured the option that doesn't commit to anything, then hell yes I am, and also not.
An almost endearingly moralist standpoint. It must be hard to take a moderate approach to head shooting in your line of work. The turn of the century revolution.
Wait, somewhere Magnana is laughing at me.
Don't answer it. It's a trick question. The revolution began in 02 on the Isla of Grad, though by the
it's
end,
2100.
the whole world has gotten involved.
Finish this line of conversation and then we can hop up there.
It wasn't a who, but a what.
And then we can send Kim to bed.
A particularly virulent prion disease, which the authorities
Take a shower.
proved unable to contain. Then Mazov came along and overthrew the government.
Nah, fuck that. Fuck that shower. We don't need that shower.
Have you decided if you want to open the door or not?
Oh, for Everard?
Everard.
I mean, I think I already did.
Yeah, you said you were interested.
Yeah.
That's in the same yard, I think.
It's behind the greenhouse, he said.
Yeah.
It made people
It's not
overthrow
the yard
their
with the corpse in
governments.
it. You know, there's the fence there.
Yeah, that's where Kunessa is.
Yeah.
Of course not. It was a highly infectious microorganism that destroyed brain tissue. The actual causes of the revolution were material. The pandemic only provided the spark.
Oh.
From Revachol and Grad,
Gee, I wonder what that might be like.
to cauterize itself. Mazov's government was overthrown in 08, and the coalition crushed the Revachol commune 2 years later. It was the end. Why? You and I, officer. Our lives in the zone of control.
Something tells you her life and yours are not that similar. Maybe it's because she has a boat and you have that necktie? A pair of pants?
No doubt. But we share the same time and position on the planet's crust. That counts for more than you think.
Eat my dick. Fuck you.
A city-state divided into free market zones under the everlasting interregnum of the Coalition of Nations. And you, of course, the citizens' militia.
The clatter of typewriter keys fills the main hall of the reappropriated silk mill. Precinct 41. Chad Tilbrook, presses enter. Outside, Officer Elfboy Williams slams the door of an armored motor carriage.
The Zone of Control is the third incarnation of Revachol, after the failure of the Suzerain and the Commune. Modernity. They developed the marvels of the inter-eastlery communication, telematic milieus, radiation, colored plastics.
Fuck yeah, colored plastics.
In Revachol West, the aftermath continues for the 5th decade.
51 minus 8 equals 43.
Fine.
Time flies. The 20s saw a decade of urban war, west of the river leveled, offshore platforms in flames. Still, it's regarded as an improvement on what came before. 08 to 19 was simply hell. The 30s? Things settled down in the 30s. Revachol East transformed itself into the world's largest tax haven, with the international community's blessing. For the first time...
This would be around the time the hippies and the boomers evolved into yuppies.
Then you happened. Your youth in the 30s. All that untaxed income must have fueled the new. That can only mean one thing.
That they fucking had a lot of babies.
Yes, and quantitative easing. It was a market mirage, unfortunately. The 40s dispelled it. An Isla-wide hangover, you might say. So, here we are. Welcome to reality, baby.
You did it.
I don't like reality.
From the looks of it, the 50s haven't been much better for the Zone of Control. You can see it in her eyes. Days slipping away.
I've no right to be dissatisfied. This shirt is Barbara Muscova, this raincoat is impervious to rain and is guaranteed for 100 years. My daughters will wear it. No, it's just... we could have had so much more. Every one of us. If only we'd played it right. Good question. What would you have done differently?
Shot more people in the head?
Her first.
I would have killed more. 400 million if that's what it took.
Made off with the mineral rights. I mean, I want to say this, but we've seen how well that fucking works.
Yes.
Yeah, no, fuck it.
I see.
I think I might have gotten fascism points for that, but I don't care.
The key of history is in the lock. Keep turning at any cost.
Oh, there we go. I can twist it into communism genocide. Great.
That's what De Briever, the leader of the Communards, said before she got a bullet in her head. Don't get me wrong, capital is finished. But understand this. Its end won't free anyone. It will only lead to more suffering.
Opinions expressed here do not position of the RCM.
You should get that on a tape recorder, Kim.
And what is your official position, Lieutenant?
My position, ma'am? My parents got ripped to shreds in the revolution. I would have gone the same way. I was saved by being 2 years old. That's my position. The abattoir.
Understandable. They are what they are. Who knows? An afterbloom may yet come. Anyway, enough sentimentality. Is there anything else you want to know?
Now's your chance. Ask her who she is. She won't get out this time. She won't maneuver her way out of this one.
I am the vilest of the vile. A traitor. A devourer of nations and infants. I am an ultra.
A liberal.
Dios mio. Cool, I liberate pretty hard myself. Oh my god, these are all so good. I gotta go with this one though.
Yes. I am the nether creature of the Forbidden Swamp. I pushed the king under a shit wagon and betrayed the revolution. My kind surrendered the nation to financial colonists. I can see you thought we'd gone extinct.
Well, at least you have the strength of character to feel bad about it.
Anymore. Not in broad daylight. You're a man of the left, no? Tell me, now that I've uncoiled myself, are you repulsed?
In her green eyes, you see a mixture of truth and self-satire. Decades of guilt and pride.
Okay, Scruff, now I'm starting to see where you like this character so much. It took me a minute.
Forgive her. But only because you like pearlescent teeth and those light green eyes.
No, I won't be a dick.
I hope you do. I hope we are able to continue as friends, despite my scales and my need to infiltrate and betray your precious revolution. Honestly, I may have even preferred it, had the communards won. Who knows? They might really have built something better. But they didn't, because they lost.
And you know why they lost? Didn't shoot enough people in the head.
When the dust settled, the Liberals were the only ones left to clean up the mess. By virtue of their survival, they were handed enormous power to shape the future. This was all our last generation managed. With due respect to our overlords, the eternal caretaker government that keeps Martinez a monument to the efficacy of its artillery, I would not have relinquished to the coalition. Not here in Martinez, and not in the Stella Maris or Delta Beachheads either. If not for my own
That's not too dissimilar from the... Look, Karl Marx had some really weird ideas about the Jews. Nobody's perfect.
Then for my daughters, we had an obligation to defend our sovereignty. We should have burned the whole Isola down rather than let...
Karl Marx was a rampant anti-Semite. Like, he had some really great ideas about labor and the rights of the working class. He was also a massive anti-Semite. And apparently, like, hated Charles Darwin. There was apparently, like, a personal... I don't know too much about it, but there was, like, a personal, like, feud between the two of them.
Dark orange flames reflect in her green eyes. An oil fire on the ocean.
Perhaps my intellectual vanity will be my undoing.
You're no dummy yourself. And the crown on your head as you lay in the casket.
Yes. Whatever else I am, I'm also a mother and a wife. Now, shall we return to reality?
So all we got is this very high conceptualization check.
Glad to have been of assistance. The little that I know.
And the drug trafficking. Of which I hope they made a note.
No, you didn't agree to it.
Well, if it's between that and working...
We know where to go to find it.
The lorries are still stuck at the roundabout. If the police...
Can I ask them the questions and stuff before agreeing to the thing?
I mean, you've exhausted the tree.
Yeah.
For now.
I'd rather work with her than with fucking...
According to my reports, there are at least...
Which is really weird for me.
Hopefully one of them will know something. It may come to nothing, or it may just blow the case wide open. I can keep the drawbridge up for a few more days at least. You should have the time you need. In the meantime, let me know if there's any other way I may be of assistance.
What if Everett really is sincere and he just... They said it earlier where he's got, like, a quality about him that makes it feel like he's lying even when he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
What if I've just completely misjudged Everett?
He seems a bit slimy, but not as much as you think when you first meet him.
He did make me sit on that chair. He also keeps company with Measurehead, and that's really not doing it for me, bud. also bribed me. I mean, but on the other hand, there are some of the worst people in my union. There's a small handful that every time they go up clip to a rail, be like, oh no, it sure would be such a shame if somebody were to cut that rope and this fucking racist asshole would just fall 100 feet onto his neck. That would be just the worst, wouldn't it? Oh no. Hell, we had a guy a couple years ago who came into the office down at the Labor Temple and got pissed off that we weren't supporting Trump in the re-election and went on a big tirade on Facebook about how he was going to get himself some guns and go be a martyr for the cause. And that, like, we ended up having to file legal action against this fucker, send him to jail. Like, it was scary. Yeah, he was in our union. Piece of shit.
Gendarmerie, you found me.
This guy might also be a piece of shit. I honestly don't know much about you, but we're going to find out.
The figure is backlit by city lights, its distant streets and motorways flashing like diamonds. It feels like a Friday. He seems to be in a good mood tonight.
Maybe I should give Everard another chance, is what I'm getting at.
Beautiful. So tell me, are you here to make things right again?
I'm gonna make them spectacular.
Beautiful. I have some good news for you. My Sunday friend is visiting me tonight. I told him about you and he'd like to say hello. Step in. He's already waiting. Mm-hmm. That's why I chose this place. Martinez is special, isn't it?
Wait. Suddenly you are digging things?
Have I met a fellow disco head?
Yeah, it does feel like the end of the week. Such gentle weather.
Which meme should go here? Both of them. I'm putting them both in. Fuck it.
Even the rain feels nice. Trust me, you do. That's nice, but I don't have anything to tell you. It's my friend you're looking for, not me.
He takes another drag of his unfiltered cigarette and looks around. It's getting dark and the neighboring windows have lit up, one by one.
Besides, I've got to run.
He's going to leave you alone again. That's sad.
I don't care about people leaving me all the time.
To the city. It's a beautiful night.
Something flutters in the corner of the lieutenant's mouth as you're saying those words. It's laughter.
We'll talk. Just not tonight. Take care, all right?
I have no idea. So, a coworker of mine played this game. I was chatting with him about, and I when I brought up this character, I referred to him as the sex worker. He said that the character's not a sex worker. So I was expecting the Sunday friend to be a client. Now I have no fucking clue what's waiting for me on the other side of the door.
Looks like it's becoming a theme for him.
Different, of course. Something so mysterious about the way he talks. Very. Come on, detective, let's go. We've got a potential witness to interview. His Sunday friend, remember?
Come on. The suspense is killing me. That's it? Just some nerd in a tie? A lot of swear words about this character. Oh, good. First, I'm gonna raid your apartment. What? Super logical for a cop to wear this. Insensitive bachelor party vibes. Yeah, why do you have this? I mean, I definitely want the extra electrochemistry and drama, obviously. And speaking of drama, there we go. But, like, I feel bad about wearing this, but I want the stats. Although, actually, I fucking... So I heard this from a white person, so I don't know how much salt to give it. But apparently... geisha is like one of the rare things. It's like, yeah, appropriate as much as you want. Fuck it, it doesn't matter.
I wouldn't know.
I don't know either. I didn't drill down any further in that conversation because it was someone I didn't know very well, and I didn't want to like get into that with somebody I barely knew. I am a fashion disaster, but my stats are amazing. I love how it's even off the one shoulder. All right, nerd. What you got?
You have acquired the robe. Keep it, officer. It looks good on you.
If by that you mean I ransacked your place, yes.
You shouldn't be seeing him in an intimate setting. For some reason, you feel this man is your superior. Superior, but he's not in the command chain.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur la Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot. Yes, make it clear you're the one setting the terms here.
Oh yes, my friend has a great eye for these things. He refuses to tell me where it came from. It's a mystery. I believe they call this type of frame industrial. It's very comfy. That's really all I can tell you about it.
That didn't work at all. The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
Okay. Tell me about your friend.
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters. I'm just enjoying the view. Listen. The Insulindian Bay. This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away. My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
Sorry, who? But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization. Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation. He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
As though you weren't envious enough of the boy as is.
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him. How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the Insulindian Isola?
Is this motherfucker capable of answering a question?
Civil wars lasting for years.
What is the question?
Finally, the international community is forced to step in. Au contraire, it's how millions of people end up where they are.
How do you answer a
Millions of
question?
people they meet. It's how I came here, and my friend too. How did any of us become friends? One of the wonders
are
of democracy
questions?
is
I'm
that
gonna
What is
throw-
inquiry?
to have his own opinion.
I'm gonna turn into Mr. Fantastic so I could stretch my arms 3,000 miles and strangle you.
I don't think I ever talked to this guy, so this is
What the fuck?
Debating. You should consider joining a debating society for adults. I hear they're oodles of fun. I used to have a flyer for one, but...
Ultra mega light bending liberal.
But now that I start thinking
Like
of
the
it,
motherfucker in the can in
class
the
anyway.
cargo
It's this
container.
funny theater thing, you know? Very creative. Helps relieve stress.
A chill runs down your spine as you envision a half-dozen people in professional attire standing around a chair, awkwardly pretending to be waiting for a motor bus.
Oh
It's
no.
neither funny nor creative.
Improv troops are bad enough, but when it's an amateur troops like fucking populated by office workers,
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue. That it's never going to happen. They enter negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since. EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far
Oh, it's NATO.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level. Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the
Motherfucker!
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level. A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
Do you even hear the words I'm saying?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
Oh my god.
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
I was getting gay Republican vibes from this guy when I first walked into the room. Now I don't even fucking care.
No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
Even in conversation.
I'm all ears, officer.
It's like fucking a tantric ent.
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight. Well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
What the fuck?
Yes, as I said before, I'm a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Inter.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there?
I get it.
Maybe
I fucking
there is. God,
I'm a Brexit supporter now, I guess, if this is the alternative.
Intern is joking or not.
God.
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution. It is the most important thing.
I want to take this guy and lock him in a room with Theresa May and just let them sit there forever. They deserve each other.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment.
You have disseminated so much that it has caused me to have a break from reality. My jamais vu has finished.
Which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Come back! Come back, fascist guts! Where are you? Anything but this!
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%. But not too far below, no.
2% of what? You
below, but close to 2%. The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
No, absolutely not.
Monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the Moral Inter. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the Moral Intern's commitment to transparency.
I don't want to know more. I don't care.
Whatever you wish, officer. I'm sorry
Tell
to
me
say
about the fucking hanging.
Because I did it?
Don't jerk my chain, paper jockey!
What's the meaning of this? Is your colleague here trying to arrest me?
He sounds almost mocking, saying those words. Arrest me.
There is no meaning, sir. Please excuse my colleague. This case has been a great strain on his nerves.
Back off.
This fucking conversation has been a strain on my nerves, Kim. Come on.
It serves no good to accuse him of a crime he didn't commit.
Fine.
Well, I can certainly understand that. That hanging was a surreal play. Everything since then has been too. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated.
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities. I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human.
Did any of them look like drummers?
Drummers? Why, no. But then, I don't know what a drummer is supposed to look like.
Well, here's a picture of John Bonham. You can work it out from there.
I think we can drop the drummer angle. That was my bad.
I went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man. All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly. I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent. Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching. Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
Yeah, they made the performative, we're gonna kill this man who's totally still alive, and now we're gonna kill him now. And then they went home.
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late. My watch. Yes, now I remember. It was 30 minutes past midnight, give or take. No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more assistance. I'm sorry to say I did, officer. Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. That's when I understood.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious.
I went back.
Were you able?
Officer, well, that's the... Eventually, their shouts... I'm afraid I don't have any...
About what time?
All I can... My watch. No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day. I'm sorry I couldn't be of more... A moment, officer.
No, no more.
Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave. It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Let me know if you have any further questions.
Yep, I'll let you know.
Jamais vu, derealization. Jamais vu, the opposite of déjà vu. Not already seen, but never seen.
Okay.
Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new.
Oh, whoops. I didn't mean to skip that. Okay. Let's see. All right. So, fuck this guy. I'm glad he's gone. I never want to hear another word he has to say. I'm done with him. I hope he enjoys his little jaunts down here into the poor town. Also, I think, I don't know what my friend was talking about. That had very much senator going to meet a prostitute and under the guise of night vibes about it. Or businessman or whatever the fuck he was. I don't know what he was, because every word that came out of his mouth was just like another drill into my fucking brain, destroying any cells that live in there. I'm gonna send Kim to bed. I have unsavory things to do. Get boot. I don't think we have enough conceptualize yet. I don't think we can make that check. But we have get boot. We have find drugs. Tell Joyce, like, hey, I found someone who's even more of an ultra-liberal scum than you. I mean, you could clip it from this video. There's now an audio record. That's going to get used against me in the future.
The spread pattern of these bullet holes makes your chest ache. Your breath grows heavier. More old bullet holes. Half a century at least. From the revolution.
Remnants from the revolution. These are over half a century old.
So these are not crimes.
Perhaps a crime of a sort ages ago. But no, these do not warrant an investigation. Not much. I don't have a fresh perspective on it. Should we go?
A hot take, if you will.
This must be it. The basement door is weather-worn. The copper nails holding the upholstery in place have turned green from sea air, and there's a knocker shaped like a lion's head.
Okay, so this is the door.
You knock silently. The upholstery muffles the sound. No response comes from the apartment.
I guess no one is in.
You feel eyes on you, watching you from the window overlooking the yard. The leather upholstery is worn and rough against your jaw. You don't hear any movement. In fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you. No birds chirp.
Are we being set up?
Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for, but every day tells you something new about yourself. Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation is not something I'm squeamish about. I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy work. But if this gets us to the bottom of this hanging, then I'm willing to look over it. On the other hand, we could just leave and tell Evrart we opened the door. No one seems to be tailing us to see if we actually did it. Yes, presenting a fabrication is known to get results here and there. You took this task. You make the call.
The door is right here. You can just open it and be done with this. Besides, if you never open it, you're never gonna find out what's behind the door.
I do want to know what's behind the door.
You're a pretty good liar. Are you as good an infiltrator as you are a liar?
I'm going to regret this, but I'm choosing to believe that Evrart is not as bad as I thought.
Try to be as silent as you can. It takes a bit of rattling of the handle to loosen the bolt. Finally,
I'm giving this man a second chance.
thoughts race
Don't
through you.
fuck me with this.
Well, buddy, you opened it. No need to go inside. It would be rude. Only curiosity could account for stepping over that threshold. Maybe there's treasure in there. A white alligator. A fountain of quicksilver.
I mean, this is a video game. I'm the protagonist. There's no such thing as property rights. I am Link. I smash all your pots. We may have to have unsavory things wait until next time. It's getting pretty late. Drugs. Suitcase. The hidden world of walking sticks.
This is the flag of Revachol, the suzerainty. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold sun miracle. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old Revachol got its flag. It is but one of the many strange optic atmospheric phenomenon of this wondrous archipelago. You're sure you once saw sundogs in your youth, and blue flares?
Mm-hmm. The tenant is an old-fashioned guy.
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing. The flag doesn't seem to mind. It's just a colorful fabric with a sun sewn onto it. Like all feudal flags, it looks like a children's drawing.
I'm glad we didn't offend the flag. Got a dress shirt. Logic. Boo.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst...
I've got a racist mug in my pocket.
Shoveling potatoes, and others, a little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. There's something disdainful in the way the curves and lines of the bodies were drawn. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely unflattering caricatures. The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much. This person is unhappy. The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it back down with a look of disdain.
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Me too, Kim.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same humor, the same mocking lines.
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens, as they say.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting to other clues down the road. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from this clothes in the trash lead either way. It might turn out to be some random local matter, but still, a nice coincidence.
Well, either way, that's 2 separate things that were being thrown into a locked dumpster without permission. So, either 3 possibilities, it's the same person who did both. The person who, one of them or the other, works for the Whirling and Rags and has the key, or works for the Garbage Association and has the key. Interesting.
You could ask Everard who this person is once you're done here.
Yeah, I kind of want to know now.
A row of mugs sits on the shelf.
Huh.
Good.
I want to trash this room. I want to fucking smash this whole place. Hey, Everard, we need to talk about your target, because I think you may not be harsh enough. Okay, this is starting to... So Everard can't be targeting this guy just because he's a racist piece of shit, whoever this person is.
No,
because
probably not.
He works with Measurehead. Odds are he's an opportunist, Everard. He doesn't give a shit about your personal politics. It depends. It's just whatever can serve him best in the moment. But who is this sneaky fascist prick? See, this is the scene from fucking Watchmen that they cut out of the movie.
Oh, when you see Rorschach's apartment.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't do that in the movie. Well, they do it, but they cut out all of the fascist shit. That's why people who just watch the movie think Rorschach's so cool. No, Rorschach's a goddamn fucking neo-Nazi. The fact that he's right about one thing is to demonstrate how far the world as a whole has slipped. Jeez. It's probably too late to talk to Everard tonight, huh?
What time is it?
It's after 2100. It's after 2200. He's probably not in his office anymore. Yeah. All right, let's do the unsavory things. Let's
say goodnight to Kim.
Say goodnight to Kim. Take a shower, which is more safe.
We've been running around in the rain all day. It's fine.
That washed off all of the wrong door. Yeah, that washed off all the cerebral spinal fluid. Yes, boot and pawn shop. Actually, we should probably do pawn shop first before that guy closes up. Don't be afraid to say weird things. Clearly, I haven't had that problem, game, but thank you. Yeah, it's 22:30. I wonder, is Kuno's dad still just, like, passed out in their apartment? He had the fucking Conan the Barbarian posters on his walls. Well, there's Kunessa still just chilling.
Can't believe you didn't take the shot. Fucking coward. Waved a gun like a clown. Next time you point that shit at me, you better take the shot.
Oh, that's right. We pointed a gun at
Continues
her.
to be here. All due to you and not shooting her. The contempt is thick enough to cut through with a knife.
Trying to sneak up on me?
She has a death wish. Oh, yeah, tracks. Also car tracks. In the real world, that kind of suicidal impulse in small children is indicative of severe trauma. So, if we ever find out more about, what Kunessa's deal is, I'm probably going to feel very bad for wanting to shoot her in the face, even though I still very much wanted to shoot her in the face. Next time, though, definitely shoot her in the face. I mean, I'm going to do my fascist playthrough off stream, and that feels like an appropriate time to shoot the small child in the face. Gonna listen to my guts. My obsessively umlauted guts. Which, by the way, Shoten, Yager, and Sax aside, if you weren't here for that, you should definitely scroll back to about... I want to say about 2:30.
How do you pronounce the umlaut again?
Umlaut?
Yeah.
Like
so how do you say shoot the child with umlauts over the O's?
Shoot. Shoot the... There are no... How do you umlaut an I? Oh, do I have to pay for the room just to send Kim to bed?
Oh yeah, we didn't pay for the room.
Yeah, but I don't need the room. I just need Kim to go to sleep. Oh, well. Never mind. I guess I'm gonna have to give Guard his money.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we will. I kind of figured.
I'm trying to think of how do you umlaut an I, though? Yeah, so an umlauted U would be oo. Oo. U. Blood. An A would be ah. Oh, yeah, no, you should definitely go back, though, about, I want to say it was at about 2 hours, 2.5 hours into this video. It was right before the break. Our fascist intestines had a conversation with us. It was the best thing ever.
20 real. Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Take it easy on him. Deep down, he really hates being the guy who has to remind you.
Okay. Now we can send Kim to sleep. I took German class in high school, and I did not enjoy it. I didn't like it at all. I took it because when it came time to choose a language, it was German, Spanish, and French, and the girl I had a crush on was in German, so I went with German. Night.
This is not the cleanest bathtub in the world, but it's cleaner than you are right now.
Oh, that doesn't complete
This is not the bathtub slowly fills with water. The water beckons. The water is only lukewarm, but still comforting, like amniotic fluid. A few beer cans are bottling up and down along your flanks, like sad duckies. You feel nice and lonely, and so tired. Now you are alone with your thoughts in the tub. But it's easier than being alone with your thoughts outside the tub. Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny whirls as the water cools. Your fingers grow pale and are covered with tiny... You see the corpse. You can still smell the cadaver on you. It's going to take more than one bath to get rid of that stench. Then, houses along a narrow street. A video rental. Darkness on the planet's curvature.
Blockbuster?
The waterline recedes as you stand. You are cold now. Your clothes stick to your still moist skin. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Okay. Did I...
The window stands broken in its frame. Cold.
No, nothing to fix that, but that's fine. We don't really need to. All right. I'm a free agent. I'm a swinging bachelor. I'm a single man about town.
The door is
Let's go play with dead bodies.
Oh boy.
No, pawn shop first, because that guy might go to bed. Everything else, we don't need another person to be active for. I don't want to talk to the Hardys right now. Fuck them. Do I have any leads on where my badge went?
I don't know.
I don't know what's worse, the 4 fascism points or the 1 ultra-liberal point. Oh, I can run that box of sunglasses. Am I wearing all my conceptualization gear? I have as many superstar and sorry points. Yes, I am a walking contradiction. Oh, he packed up his fucking... Fine, we'll do it tomorrow. Lots of drama and electrochemistry and perception's as good as it's gonna be. Savoir faire is in the fucking gutter. Oh, good, you're still here. All right, drug friend.
Fine night. What brings you here? The pawn shop is always open.
+1. Roy doesn't really sleep.
Feeling warm and enthralled
Boxcars!
of light, while the mind continues to race.
Boxcars on drugs.
Lucky bastard. He's probably on Prolidon. It's tough to come by on the street. A drug developed by the military to treat and prevent radiation sickness. It has psychedelic side effects and makes your eyes turn yellow.
So, where does a man get drugs?
How would I know?
Hello, I would like to purchase some drugs.
Nation in his voice.
1 drugs, please.
Those triangle patches on his vest. You have a feeling they mean something, like they're similar to the halogen rectangle on your jacket.
I'm a chill-out cop who just wants some of what you're having.
Prolidon is just something you know, since the People's Power disaster, I was with the Emergency Relief Brigade. Had to take it for radiation sickness.
God damn it.
He's taken it for mental and emotional, not physical pain these days.
We were an all-volunteer force, self-organized. Tried to help the fire brigades contain the spill. I lived by the river since I was a small boy. the Esperance. Didn't have the art to let it all go to shit without trying to do something to help out.
There wasn't much the volunteer force could do, however. We wasted years in the river mud. Years getting sick. A bad idea. Some poor leftist built a particle decay generator in hopes of bringing affordable electricity to underserved communities. It malfunctioned. Radioactive waste everywhere. Probably some of it in you, too.
The People's Pile was a Type U particle decay generator that failed immediately after entering service, releasing radioactive waste into River Esperance.
I just wanted a cool chill-out drugs time with my new best friend, Roy.
Construction began during the Commune of Revachol. The people continued work on it after the Commune fell. They wanted a cheap source of energy for Revachol West. Needless to say, things didn't work out. A primitive nuclear reactor, also called a pile.
Just because the communists didn't know how to set up an effective nuclear reactor doesn't mean that they were wrong ideologically.
An emergency valve defect resulted in steam pressure blowing the turbine, taking the fuel containment vessel up in the explosion. Both the faulty design and lack of finances contributed to the catastrophe.
There's a reason why everyone's tried to forget any of it ever happened, and why no one has tried to repair or replace the pile. So much disappointment and early deaths. Cancer mostly. And we knew all that was coming even as we were cleaning up as best we could. No one's. Everyone's.
So much bitterness.
A bunch of poor people built themselves a primitive nuclear reactor, hoping for the best. What do you think is going to happen?
The cleanup happened 15 years ago. I was young then. Later, my second aunt died. Left me this shack and all the assorted junk in it.
So I came to Martinez. People told me don't go there. It's a shithole.
I said, people, we just had a nuclear pile meltdown.
I'm gonna get as far away from Forburg as I can. Still in the same city, but...
I like the theory more than the story. Outward movement, not vortices.
Yeah, you gotta get in on those vortices, my man.
I want the drugs, but can I have some of your drugs?
Have you tried it before?
It's almost like he's worried for you.
Have I tried it before? Let's assume I have.
Every day. You look the part. Here you go, man.
Yes, darling. That's the coalition government ordained Parolidon. Straight into your gut. Not so sure about this. Because it's an anti-radiation drug, and you're a cop, not a post-apocalyptic scavenger.
Take the drugs.
Of course.
The Coldima Madaqua. Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds. Or birds, for that matter.
What an interesting development. Well, it's been a long while since I've gone hunting for the Coldima Madaqua.
Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore, and started looking for all kinds of interesting sounds instead. This was before, you know, lost touch with them after all of that.
Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording the Coldima Madaqua. And he was one of those passionate people who know a lot about all kinds of strange things. So he got the rest of us to join in his search. We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns.
Oh?
Compared them.
cut them up and combine them into the Symphonia called Imamadakwa. Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life. None at all. But I do have a tape with some ultrasonic sounds that might be what you're looking for. This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Just left a recording device there one morning. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human ear. It will be strange.
As the hum grows louder, modulating but always unnaturally uncomfortably low, like it's coming not from the speakers, but also from inside your chest. Breathing is becoming difficult. Not good, not good. You're about to start suffocating. You have to stop this. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but also surrounding you. It feels as though someone is standing just outside your range of vision and watching you, doing this to you. He nods to you, reassuringly, just as more diverse, higher-pitched sounds, some random, some appearing to form patterns, hit your eardrums. Seabirds most likely, gulls and such.
And skewers, but
a low range of sounds is easier to handle.
I swear to God, if I die because I listen to this fucking tape.
You are mesmerized by the sounds, but also feel nausea welling up as the motif continues, then begins to
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the cold Imamadakwa. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably some insect trying to sing higher than its predators can hear. Still, fascinating, aren't they? Early morning sounds.
I have a quick save I have to attend to right now. Okay. Well, I got my drugs. I feel bad about it, but I got the drugs. I don't know what they're gonna do to me. I think we're going to take one last pass around Kuno's warehouse, and then we're gonna end on the boots. And might as well see if the dice maker is still in. Probably asleep, but we're going to be in the same building when we go to the boots, so couldn't hurt. Because there's sweet, delicious meth in them thar warehouse. This woman is always smoking on the fucking roof, and I don't know how to get up there. Is that where the blue door leads? Come on. Come on. You can do it. Alright. Can't get the meth. No meth. No meth for me. I wanted it, but I can't get it. Okay. The moment we've all been waiting for. Desecrating a corpse. Even further than the other times we've desecrated this corpse. There's going to be nothing left of this corpse by the time we're done. Ooh. That's what the drugs do.
Could you use that for our authority?
Yeah. And it gives us more Inland Empire.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over the freezing corpse hidden inside its belly. The body is reluctant to let go of the boots, as though it were its last bit of dignity. Whatever you're planning to do, you need to do it before you catch pneumonia in the cold draft coming from deep inside the fridge. It's not completely useless. You're able to reveal a little more of the putrid polymer sock beneath the boot. It feels like the leg is going to come off along with the boot, but you're able to get the boot to move a centimeter or two. See? The corpse doesn't care if you try to take his boots. He doesn't need them. He's too heavy to move by yourself. A great mass of dead muscles, with hoarfrost covering his milky eyes. Is that an accusatory glance he gave you? No. No, he's cool. This is the right method. It takes some time, but eventually the boots come off, with nasty slices of polymer sock stuck to even bigger pieces of skin and rotting flesh. Not good. Let's pin this on the bear. The ice bear tore up his legs with its claws. As for the boots, you can't possibly do anything with them until you've cleaned and disinfected them thoroughly.
Lies!
These absolutely need to be washed before. The stink is incredible.
Shoot, Looney Rooney.
Lies, I say. Jam them on my feet, post haste.
These boots were probably left on the corpse because they were impossible to pull off while it was hanging. They're not exactly pleasant to look at right now, much less smell. Hopefully, you will know who they belonged to very soon. The size seems about right. Once you get the foul-smelling flesh gunk out, you've seen too much to be that naive. Even if you don't remember it, you'll never know what it was like to be him.
Well, now I've got the boots. What do I do with the boots? One last chance. Oh, she's still working.
Oh, it's you again.
Hey!
Hi. Very good. That will be 7 real for one custom die.
Oh.
I don't do orders on credit. Come back when you have the full amount.
Gotta go cash this giant novelty check. Hopes raised and then dashed. like bloated corpse guts on the rocks, sticking to the inside of my boot. Oh, God. Well, fuck it. We don't need... We've done the things that we needed Kim out of the picture for. Fine. We'll sleep, we'll dream, we'll call it a day. These loading times, they're killing me.
You should pick that fat, juicy cigarette butt from the tray, light it up, and smoke the living shit out of it. The living shit. Your mesolimbic reward pathway does not mince words. It wants smokes. Who knows what you are? A monster, a murderer, the gnome of Jeroma? You feel like a smoker, especially when you look at that juicy, succulent, seductive cigarette stub, still smoldering deliciously.
She broke it out the filter. I can't smoke that.
How very astute of you. This renders it ineffectual. You should look for a whole cigarette, or better yet, an entire pack. Strike that. A carton. Make sure they're all healthy and able-bodied. Then smoke them all.
The idea seems to make your neck expand. Suddenly, the garish tie feels very snug.
Like a cat rubbing itself against its owner's calves. A cat that won't shoot its Or you could not do that. No one is making you.
I should enthusiastically do that.
They'll make you stronger and better. You're too old to be cool now. But find cigarettes, smoke them, blam. Instantly a cool renegade man.
Yeah.
Mystical red dragon with smoke rising from his nostrils. Plus, smoking them gives massive bonuses.
Ooh. Just like in World of Horror. Huh. Can I wash them in the sink?
Mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
Well, we're gonna have to find somewhere to wash those boots.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting, but it's yours. You've earned it.
Nighty-night, everyone. Which is where I'll cut it.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
You're not cooperating, brother man. It's your disgusting body.
Yep, nope. Sleep can never just be sleep.
Sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
And there's a lot of it, ever present in your organs. It's like every one of them has their own nasty song to sing. That pain in your right side is your enlarged liver, by the way. As for your kidneys, you've really been compounding the damage lately. Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
I'm sorry, cells.
You're finally thinking about something other than yourself. Let's see how far that'll get you.
I'm an artist and liver damage is my art.
Yeah, baby. Frame your suffering as a masterpiece. Only one problem. No one's watching. It's boring, buddy. Boring as death. You're just stuck here. In the half-world. Could try looking at other people. Really looking. But why would you want to start doing that? Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
Some of them are. Some of them are nice. Others are scared.
Some of them have rotten flesh in their boots.
Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Put on your prettiest face for the masses.
Why is sleeping never easy?